Welcome, everyone. We are going to be starting shortly. So if you are watching us, kindly drop where you are watching us from and maybe probably your name. Let us know where you are watching from. Welcome, Olusegun. Welcome, everyone. So today we'll be talking about the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, tips and things that you need to know to prepare a very strong application. And as you know, on this channel, we bring people that have achieved that feat that you are looking forward to achieving. They've already achieved it and they'll be sharing their insights, what they've learned throughout the journey, and uh, things that will make you stand out when you submit your application. We have about 18 people watching us now. Let's still wait for like additional 4 minutes for more people to join us. The Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is a fully funded scholarship in the UK. Commonwealth Shared, uh, I think it's fully funded all rounder, like everything that you need to study in the UK. The funding is going to provide that to you. So you'll be learning from past scholars how they were able to navigate the application and tips and insight that will be useful to you so that you can prepare a strong application. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Ifiayin. Welcome, Dasola. Welcome, Mohammed. Welcome, Judith. So we have scholars from different university in the UK. So that means that you'll be learning from different perspective on how because I'm also part of them. I was also a Commonwealth scholar at the University of Oxford. And we have Commonwealth scholar from University of Birmingham. We have Commonwealth scholar from University of Derby as well. So they'll be sharing unique insights into how best you can prepare a very good application. We'll be starting in the next 2 minutes. And thank you very much to our panelists for making time how to do this. They are very, very busy. I mean, they have a lot of things that they are doing, but they still make out time to do this for us. Uh, we are so grateful for your time.
Thank you
Welcome
for organizing this as well.
Thank you very much, Yossi, and thank you everyone.
Thank
Um,
you.
Adeleye, welcome, um, welcome everyone. And the way we are going to do it today is that if you have any question, please kindly type them in the chat box. Any question at all that you have, let us know as we continue this discussion. This is an opportunity for you to ask any question about the scholarship, about things that you need to know, because these people they've already done their research before they apply, and things that they learn from the process, everything will be shared today. Welcome, Joseph. Welcome, Nelson. Welcome, Drama. Hi, that's a unique name. Welcome, Adeleye. Um, welcome, Kadijat. Welcome, Alimat. Welcome, Precious. Still have a number of people from Nigeria, Kenya, Sierra Leone. Uh, welcome, everyone. So we start in the next 1 minute. So we are going to start with general overview about the scholarship. So people that are new to the scholarship process or what it's all about, they'll be able to learn that first before we move into Q&A so that you can learn more. And if you have any question at all, please kindly let us know. Type your question in the chat box so that we'll be able to assist to provide additional insight. So thank you very much, Toyosi. Thank you very much, Olaoye, Damilola. Thank you very much, Goodnews, for doing this for us today. And we hope our speaker will be able to learn quite a lot from this. Our audience will be able to learn quite a lot from this discussion. Welcome, Wura. Welcome, Chioma. Welcome, Precious. Welcome, everyone. So I think we have to start now. So we're starting with just a general overview about the scholarship. Then we are going to move to Q&A. I think from goodness, the good news will do that for us. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I know it's afternoon, Nigeria, anywhere in Africa, and so good afternoon to you, and thank you for making our time to be here today. So I'll just do a quick rundown. So I'll just talk from because I've had a scholarship before, so it's something I can just speak to. So the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship basically is among the three scholarship that is a master scholarship that are actually offered by Commonwealth UK. So there we have the Masters, Commonwealth Masters, which just closed now. Then there's a distant learning, and this is the Commonwealth Shared. Now, what's the unique thing about Commonwealth Shared? Now, it's called Commonwealth Shared because the financial responsibility, mainly, it's actually shared by Commonwealth itself and the partnering university in the UK. So you have Commonwealth supporting the scholar, why the university also supports the scholar. So that is why it's called Commonwealth Shared. So it's a shared responsibility, right? And now, how is this done? For Commonwealth Shared, the participating UK universities, they are the nominating body, right? So unlike the other scholarship where you have some other bodies nominating, the UK universities that are um, being like the particular UK universities, they are the one that nominates the candidates. So they set their criteria in which they select their candidates. So sometimes you see different universities have specific criteria which they look at for. However, Commonwealth has a general Commonwealth as a body has a general criteria which they look out for. And of course, there are criteria for, because it's a master's, you have to have a UK 2-1 equivalent. Although there's a clause for you can have 2-1 and have a postgraduate degree, like a master's or postgraduate diploma, actually, though they said master's, but I think postgraduate diploma can also apply for that. So why UK has the UK Commonwealth, the Commonwealth body has their selection criteria. The UK universities, they actually play a major role for you to be selected in Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, right? So while you're applying, you may want to actually put more effort in meeting the criteria for um that's actually outlined by the university, because most times the university's criteria actually surpasses Commonwealth criteria. It surpasses it, you get. So I would want to highlight this, which I think would help you, especially when it comes to making your applications. Now, there are two things the Commonwealth generally, PhD masters, there are two things they look out for. They look out for outstanding talent and identifiable potential, right? So outstanding talent and identifiable potential. So that means that once you can settle the fact that yes, you have a talent, would be astounding, but I would want to use the word outstanding talent, then you also have an identifiable potential. So that means it should be a potential that they can identify, right? So when you present that potential, either through your essays, through your results, your academic performance, or then, and most importantly, through your CV, right? They can't spot it out. They identify that this person is a potential. So this I just said now is going to summarize everything you are going to do in your application. So yes, you're an outstanding talent, but you should make it identifiable. So when they look out, when they go through your resume, when they go through your results, when they go through your experience, your volunteer, they should be able to identify that potential. So basically, just to summarize, so the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is partly funded by the university and the Commonwealth body, and it's actually fully funded. Everything you can think of is funded. When I mean everything is funded. So what you just need to do is, if you get the scholarship, down to visa fee, flights, to thesis allowance, the stipend, return flight ticket,
Insurance.
everything is funded. And it's for, yes, everything is actually funded. So So basically, I think okay, lastly, I would want to say that the Commonwealth has 6 themes, right? So, and these 6 themes actually guide the courses through which universities offered, right? There are 6 themes: access to inclusion, strengthening health and systems. So there are 6 themes. So whatever you want to study, whatever when you are making your application, would fall under these themes. And these 6 themes are actually gotten from the Sustainable Development Goals. So you may want to get yourself acquainted. Yes, I've actually known. Okay, I think I knew about a Millennium Development Goals. Then I got to know about SDG, but I studied SDG more when I was making my Commonwealth application. That's when I studied SDG more. So basically, that's a summary of what the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is all about, right? That's a typical summary. So the school nominates. So that means your application will go through the school. Now, when I say through the school, is that you get to inquire what courses, as in the course that you want to study, and check out the school offering that. Then when you are making your application, you apply through the Commonwealth website, but you know that this is what great is being displayed now on the screen. So basically that's it. So as you are applying now, the thing is, as you are applying for your Commonwealth scholarship, as in through the Commonwealth website, you are also checking what the school is offering, right? Going to the school website. So it's going to be like a double prong application. You're making your application to the school, and you're also making your application to Commonwealth. So I think I'm going to stop here so we can take more focused question concerning the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship application. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fam. I mean, that overview is really concise and insightful. So one thing that you have to know again is that please check the website, look at the courses that are available, look at the university. So not all schools in the UK are listed here, and not all programs in the UK are available for Commonwealth Shared. As he said, you have to make sure that you engage with both the university and at the same time the Commonwealth Shared, because it's a shared scholarship. That means that it's a partnership between the university and the Commonwealth Commission. So some courses are not available. So the very first thing that you are going to do if you want to apply is to check the Commonwealth Shared website to know the courses that are available this round. Some courses might be available, let's say 2 years ago or maybe last year. It is possible that they will not be available this year. So the very first thing you have to do is to check the website. And of course, everyone here should be able to go online, just Google Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, be able to see this particular website. And if possible, we can screenshot it and have the URL. So please note that you have to check. And as he said, we have 6 CSC developmental teams or development teams. You have to check which one the course actually fall under. For instance, for access, inclusion, and opportunity, we have these numbers of university there. And if possible, you can apply to 10, you can apply to 15. There's no limit. It depends on how the appetite that you have to apply. There's no limit to number of universities that you can apply to, but it's highly dependent on how much you are willing to put into these. But I know most people, and I know someone that applied to 10 university. I mean, 10 programs under the Commonwealth Shared, and he ended up getting, I think, got one at the end of the day. So it's highly dependent on you. So you can look at any of these things and look at what you are interested in, which program are you interested in, and apply as many as you want. You are free to do that. But of course, remember quality over quantity. Make sure that you're able to prepare strong application. Even in fact, if you are preparing a very strong application, remember that it's highly competitive. So don't just apply to one. Try it as much as maybe like 3 or 4. I know most people here maybe they don't apply to one. I don't know, but I know most scholars apply to at least 2 or 3 university. So look at the courses and look at the university. And another important thing is that you also need to check the requirements in the university. I know some people, they will just decide to apply to Commonwealth Shared on the Commonwealth Shared website. They will not apply on the university website. You have to apply for admission. So you have to check the admission deadline as well. That okay, when is this university going to close? For instance, now Oxford, most I think most admission round in Oxford is going to close maybe first week of December. So if you are applying to Oxford, you under Commonwealth, you will apply here and meet the deadline, December 12th deadline, and also apply to meet the deadline in the university. Why some schools they will tell you that don't worry about applying to the school for admission, just apply for Commonwealth Shared, but check to know what is required by the university so that you can decide on how you're going to plan your time so that you can apply to the university and at the same time you can apply on the Commonwealth Shared website. So this is very, very important because I know someone that just applied to for Commonwealth Shared and the university didn't receive the application for admission into that program. So you have to do it hand in hand. So check the university, check the requirement for admission, the SOP and all sorts, everything that you need to put together to apply to the university and also submit an application for Commonwealth on the Commonwealth website. This website that you're looking at, you also have to submit the scholarship application here, but still check the university to know the deadline for admission or what they want you to know if you're applying to Commonwealth Shared. So you have to have an admission at the same time. You also need to apply for the scholarship, but you don't need to have offer yet. Please note, you don't need to have admission yet. So just apply apply for admission in the university and apply for the scholarship here. You are good to go. So at the end of the day, everything will meet each other because when you get the offer and you are shortlisted for the scholarship, everything will work together for you. So please note and check this website, read everything that is available here, and we'll be going to Q&A and to shed more insight on how you can prepare a very good application. I would like to ask Damilola, do you have anything that you want to share?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, so I think that I would just like to touch some common mistakes and talk from my own perspective. I discovered something that from majority of questions that I've gotten from people don't read the advice for applicants on the Commonwealth Shared page. Because on the advice for applicants, you would see what they look out for, what they mark, what is important, and what you should prioritize. And when you read people's essay, you would see that their interpretation of developmental impact is completely divergent from what Commonwealth wants. So people would start talking about what Commonwealth will do for them, what Commonwealth will do for them, Commonwealth will do this for you. But when you get a scholarship, what are you going to do for your country? Like, what impact would your scholarship bring for the development of your country?
Because that's the reason the scholarship was established in the first place.
Exactly.
To give back to your own country.
So if you just want to collect, you don't want to give back, then you are not even worthy. And another question is always about, oh, I don't have a first class, I can't apply. See, Commonwealth specifically stated that while they prioritize academic excellence, that they would give credence to a 2-1, a strong 2-1, as quoted, that has supporting impact. So the way you build your application, you should have been able to show that you have impact, community impact, academic impact, and academic impact, your publications, your work experience, community impact, your volunteer experience, all those things, they build up together and they must reflect in your essay. So you can't be talking about, your past impact, you did this community project, this organization, you did this and everything. And you're writing your essay, you are talking about something divergent from what you have built on. So it's more or less like you're building two houses and you left the foundation, you're now building something on the ground, which would eventually fall. One other thing is, applying to many schools.
So that means if someone asks 2-1, they can win the scholarship.
Very well.
So Dabi asked 2-1 and is a Commonwealth Shared Scholar.
I'm a Commonwealth Shared Scholar. So
very well, like 2-1. In fact, it seems like most 2-1s are even winning it now.
Yeah. So because with 2-1, like for anyone that would deserve the scholarship, with your 2-1, you should have substance. Like,
Yeah.
you should have substance. Someone would like, but there were a number of people that said, let me see your essay. People like that. They want to see your essay to write their essay. And there were people that I trust that they won't be plagiarizing and putting themselves in trouble that I shared with. And they were like, oh wow, no wonder. I mean, yeah, because there are some things that would be able to put you at par. It's very competitive. Before you can compete with people that have a strong first class, best graduating students in their university, for you to get a scholarship, you have to have substance. And during the Commonwealth meeting we had, when they called the scholars together, and people were like, who got the clinical oncology Birmingham scholarship? I was just looking, because a lot of veterinary medicine doctors applied, a lot of MBBS guys applied, and they didn't get the offer. And I was like, I got it. And they were like, are you a medical doctor? I was like, no, I'm a pharmacist. They're like, pharmacist. And I was like, yes. And I didn't even tell them that I had a 2-man to make matters worse. But the truth is, your application is a story, and a story that can convince yourself. Because sometimes you read what you've written, you'll be like, if you are Commonwealth, will you give yourself the scholarship? so if your story can convince you, how much more convincing the reviewers? Yeah, so it's not hard. You can't tell a lie about what you are not, because the way they broke down the questions, like I think 6 different questions.
Yeah.
Even if you are very good at lying, like, and you get to a point that your frame of thought would be lost. You have to be intentional, and it has to be. You can't say you want to build a new country. It has to be something measurable, a justifiable, measurable impact, and the rest is easy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dami. I mean, it is very, very important that, it says something about story. And I've always been saying that it's always about story. It's always about who you are, why you want to do this thing, why they should give you the money. It's quite a lot of money. So they want to be sure that you are worthy of their investments. So what is your own story? So you don't have to finish with first class, but what have you done? What are the things that you can put together to show that you are someone that's been doing something in a particular area, and you are willing to advance and build on that? So it's always about story. But some people tell me that they don't have story. Why do you tell me you don't have story? You have story. You have things that you've done and things that actually challenge you to become a better person. So all this application really, and everyone here will agree with me, is about how you showcase yourself. Because these guys don't know you, as Farm Goodnews said. They don't know you. It's only when they read your application that you say, oh, okay, this person, you've done this, you've done that. Okay, this makes sense and it's coherent. As that being said too, this thing needs to be coherent, needs to be clear on why they should give you the money. That a lot of money to study in the UK. So you have to be able to convince them, look back into your story, look about what motivates you to study that particular program. And at the same time, what are the possible impact that you want to make in your community? So it's about telling a meaningful, insightful, unique story about you. So it doesn't have to be another person's journey. So that's why you can't copy personal statement. If I send you my application, you can't copy it. You still have to go back and think of, okay, I've done this, I've done that. And all these things about how you link things together. Okay, you've done internship somewhere, you've done training somewhere, you participated in this particular awareness. All these things can come up to a meaningful story that will stand you out when they are reading your application. So everyone has a story. If you are applying to this program, look inward. What is your own unique story? What are the things that you want to showcase? What are the things that you want to talk about that will motivate them to say, oh, this person is really serious. Let's give him or her the money to study. And that also said, you don't have to finish with the first class before you apply to Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. He finished with a 2-1, but he was able to tell his story, what he has done in the past, everything. I mean, we've done quite a lot of things while we are still in pharmacy school, because Dami was my classmate. So we've done quite a lot of things, and I think and all these stories actually come up to shape his application at the end of the day. Please look inward. What are the things that you've done? What are your own selling point? My own selling point is definitely going to be different from your own selling point. So just look inward and look at the best way you can showcase yourself in the best light. Of course, it's not about lying. It's about how you're able to tell your story at the end of the day. And if you finish with 2-1, you can apply. Even if you finish with 2-2, you can apply, but you need to have a master's, I think. I think that's one of the clauses there. If you finish with 2-2, you can still apply, but you need to have a master's before you can apply. It's on their website. Please check that. Yeah, that's all for now. Can we hear you? Toyosi. Toyosi was also my classmate in UI. I both classmates together with Dami. So
Yeah,
she's going to be sharing her own.
I'm so happy to be
experience.
here, and I'm so happy to share 1 or 2 insights about Commonwealth Shared Scholarship.
Thank
So
you.
for me, I will be going deeper into each component of the essay, what you are supposed to write in each component of the essay. It's about 12 to 13 essays, different essays. So the first part will be the developmental issue. So I'm on the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship website, and they said the first part, applicants should explain how the proposed scholarship relates to developmental issues at the global, national, and local level. Development issues connected to the chosen CSS development theme and the wider sector. So I think the first thing is to identify a problem. Identify a problem you are trying to solve. So for
Problem
me,
in your country, right?
yes, in your country. So
Because
that's why
this
I read
body is
that.
about your country.
Yes, they said at the global, national, or local level. Global can be the world, national is your country, or your local level can be your community, your state, your Nigeria, something like that. So identify a problem that is the developmental issue. So for me, I have a master's in public health, and when I was writing my essay, Nigeria was at the peak of flooding, where about a lot of countries in the northern Nigeria were experiencing flooding, and that was what I based my developmental issues on. And I linked that with my CSS developmental thing, which is access to health. What was that thing? Yeah.
Strengthening
Yes,
healthcare
system
capacity.
Yes, for public health. So, and to do that, I had to dig deep into why this is a problem for Nigeria. And why I'm bringing Masters of Public Health to solve that problem in my capacity in Nigeria. So the first thing I did was to go to WHO, UNICEF, and see what is the extent of the damage. So I saw something like over 200,000 houses were destroyed by flooding. That is a big issue. And relating it to public health in terms of cholera, waterborne diseases. So they need facts. This is the first part of the essay. This is where you put your facts. This is where you see you can do something like malaria in public health as well, depending on what your course is like. So this is where you get your problem statement and support with the facts and how important this issue is for you and for the country that you're coming from. So when you get your degree, you can go back to that country and take the whole knowledge that you have back to the country to solve that problem. Strengthening healthcare system. So how can you strengthen the healthcare system by overcoming the challenge that is currently going on? So that's what I did. For development essay 2, is about application of your new skill and qualification. So this is where they act and make sure, very importantly, look at the word count. They don't want too much story. Some of these things just about 100 words or 250 words, no story. Go straight to the point. So for the application of new skills and qualification is about where you tell them about the degree that you have. What can it translate to in your country in solving the same problem that you have identified? So saying, okay, I have my master's of public health. When I go back to Nigeria, this is what I want to do. I want to create programs. I want to take additional steps. I want to distribute this. I want to work with these social organizations. This is where you identify all of those things. So I'll just be brief on each components of each essay. For the essay 3, this is where you talk about measurable things on, okay, if I do this, the flooding disease outbreak will reduce by so percent and to another percent within 2 years. It has to be measurable. You can't just say you do this. How do you want to do it? So are you collaborating with domestic and foreign pharmaceutical firms? What exactly are you doing? And who are the beneficiary of your developmental issue? Who are the beneficiaries? So this is where you talk about all of these things. And also the essay 4 will be the impact of your work. How can it be measured? By conducting surveys. I'm just using my example because of my own profession and what I applied for. So these are some of the things that you have to talk about. And what are you going to do exactly? You cannot just say, okay, I want to do this. How do you want to do it? How do you want to measure your impact? You have to quantify your impact by percentage, by numbers. So this is when they can say that, okay, you really know what you're talking about. And like one of the speakers mentioned, it is a story. It has to align from your essay 1 to essay 2, essay 3. Everything has to align. Okay, you can't talk about flooding in one essay and go to another essay and talking about malaria. That doesn't correlate. It has to align. So that's very, very important. And also, I really like this part of the essay, objective during the award. This one is when you get to the UK, what do you want to do? This is when you start talking about your dissertation. You should have a dissertation in mind that, okay, during my master's, I want to research on this. I want to take advantage of the rich curriculum in the UK. I want to research on this. And then it's also very important to look at the city that you are schooling. For example, you are schooling in Warwick, you can see like, okay, is there a museum in Warwick? Is there something else you can do? They want you to have like an all-round experience, not just the academic experience. You need relationships, you need networking. So you want to say, okay, I want to go for professional conferences. I want to improve my leadership and organizational skill. For me, I said, okay, I want to participate in Commonwealth Shared Scholarship student events to expand my social network. And I want to visit historical places. These are things you should include in your essays. So like Derby Wall, Memorial, Pride Park Stadium, all of these places, I did not even know they existed. I just went online, check the school that you are going to, check the city that you are going to. What are the fun activities there? What can you learn from? Do they have a book club? These are some of the things you should include in your essay 5. Then the other one is 5 years after the award. So after 5 years of the award, what do you want to do? Do you want to collaborate with the Nigeria Federal Ministry of Health, your Nigeria Center for Disease Control? What is the impact? What is the measurable impact after 5 years? What do you think you should have achieved when they have put so much money on you? They have invested so much money. What is their gain? What is the gain for Nigeria? So within 5 years, do you want to work with non-governmental organization? Just mention some of these things in the essay. And like I mentioned, I'm going to reiterate it again. It is a story. So when you are saying 5 years after the award, you should still talk about the flooding that was the developmental issue in the first place. So we said like by now, these things should have gotten better. We should have provided some of these things. The government should have helped us. Something that would be like, okay, this is a projection of what you should have achieved after 5 years. Then the long-term plan will be also for me. I even said for my long-term plan, I said I was going to run for political office. Well, I think I might still do that anyway. So you could say that, like, run for political office. They want to see like a talent, somebody that they can invest so much on, and somebody that can generate ROI, return on investment. So in the long term, what do you think you should have achieved? Do you want to start up your own NGO? If you're in business admin, do you want to start up your own company, own an NGO, work with the United Nations, work with the WHO, work with the Federal Ministry of Health? Do you want to be a minister? These are your long-term goals. Do you want to pursue a doctoral degree or a postdoctoral degree to increase and to develop yourself in academia? It's some of the things that you want to do in your long-term plan. So your proposed study in the UK, this is very interesting. This is when you talk about your degree. And it's very important to check the website of the school and check what is their curriculum. What are the classes you'll be taking? This is when you can incorporate that, because a couple of people that are going to review this essay, because it's a Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, some of your lecturers might still review this essay. So when they see things that are familiar in your essays about, okay, through this curriculum, I'm going to learn this, my proposed study, you can even have a master's dissertation in mind already and say, okay, this is what I want to do in my master's dissertation. Your proposed study, how does it align with your developmental issue? You could put that there. And also your detailed plan of study, that's very, very similar. This is where you sit down with the SDG goals, all of your plan and purpose for this stuff. What SDG goal is it going to improve? Because we are looking at 2030 to achieve a lot of these SDG goals. And we know that a lot of these African countries are lagging behind with their SDG. So you now as a scholar, and they are investing so much in you, they want you to go back and help to assist in developing the country through these SDG goals. So you sit down and say, okay, SDG 1, SDG 2, through my research, I'll be developing, for me, is SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Okay, so through my flooding, whatever, I'm going to be helping Nigeria with clean water and sanitation. I'm going to be securing over 1.3 million Nigerians. Quantify how many people are going to be benefiting from your program. Quantify that. So and then for the personal statement, I used to say this: personal statement writing is a skill that has to be learned. It's a skill. You have to be able to know how to write a personal statement. And personal statement is a story that you have to be able to tell. So you can have all the accolades that you can possibly have and not be able to tell it exactly. And I don't know, by any means, convince your readers. Let them be stuck with you. Like, the introductory aspect of your personal statement is very, very important. Have a very strong problem statement in your introduction. So I'm just trying to be brief so that I don't take too much of our time. Put your experience, put your publications, put your academic publications as well, your volunteering. Okay, there's a part for volunteering and leadership. So lastly, I will quickly talk on volunteering and leadership. Use this STAR method for your volunteering and leadership. It is very, very important. You can't say, okay, I volunteer for this, I volunteer for that. What exactly is the situation? What is the task? What is the action? And what is the result of your volunteer and leadership? So even if you are going to be presenting just 4 or 3 relevant volunteering and leadership positions that you have occupied in the past, make it make sense. Make it worth it. So you could say, when I was in the university, I did so and this, I did this, and more than 80% grade was recorded. Quantify it. I volunteered with over 200 people, something like that. Let it be fascinating. Let it be good to read. And be able to, like, be very good in, like, storytelling. Okay, there was this volunteering, I confronted I confronted a foundation, yeah, an NGO, and I included that in my essay. And after like 2 years that I've done this application, I'm reading it now and I'm very impressed at what I wrote. So I was just saying that, okay, there was a day I was staying in my house and I heard a loud noise of a girl that committed suicide. I'm sure anybody that reads that will even pause and say, okay, why did somebody commit suicide? Be interesting in your writing. It is very, very important. So, and then she committed suicide because she got pregnant and her parents wanted to send her packing. And because of that, because of her plight, I started an NGO, Little Moms Foundation. So that is it. So they will see that, okay, you are a problem solver. You have seen the pain of people. That has inspired you to do something for your community. That's what kind of things that they like. So I think I should stop that there for now.
Thank you very much for that. I mean, that's very insightful. I think everyone here will be able to pick 1 or 2 things from that. Please tell your story. People don't know you, but your story, most of the time, when they read it, they should get inspired. They should be able to see that this person actually know what he or she is doing, and they should be able to place that quite a lot of money on you to be able to pursue your grad school. Thank you very much, Toyosi, for that insightful insights. Insightful insight. Thank you very much. I think I will go to Good News again to give us some insights on how to select the right program and the right program when it comes to Commonwealth Shared Scholarship.
Okay. So I think I will be able to actually talk good on this because first, one thing about selecting programs is that you need to really have an open mind. Yes, you need to have an open mind. And I will say this because most African countries, we have a very limited mindset, which is why when it comes to selecting courses. So you discover that in the science, people just want to think of engineering, medicine, pharmacy. They don't really realize that there are subspecialty, right? They can actually give you direct skills in what you want to do. Okay, so I'll give myself as an example. Yeah, so my background is in pharmacy, right? But I have always wanted to do cancer research, right? I've always wanted to do cancer research. And So the only reason that made me apply for Commonwealth Shared was because there was cancer in it. Okay, and yes, the only reason that made me apply for Commonwealth Shared was because I saw an opportunity to do clinical oncology. But for that, I would not have applied. In fact, I told myself that the only reason I was applying for this is I just checked and I saw that it was cancer, right? So first, so let's use what we have let's use what we have as an example. So depending on your area of specialty, now you know for sure that if you are in the science field, it's either you are into engineering or you are into life sciences or you are into biological sciences, right? Now, what is the problem you want to solve? Because this thing, there's actually no hard or fast rule to it, but what is the problem you want to solve? Now, the first thing to do is that you go through what Commonwealth has provided. Remember, this is Commonwealth Shared, and your application is based on what the school has to offer you. Do you understand? You cannot just apply for anything. So it's what the school has to offer you. So you already know in your mind what you want to do. Okay, you already have an idea. So for example, if I want to do if I have a thing with public health, just like the last speaker just spoke, I know one thing that will come to my mind first, it's a master's in public health. However, sometimes I can go here and I will see something relating to what I want to do. So the first thing is, you know what you want to do in your mind. Write it down. What do you want to do? Is it public health? Is it biologic? Is it biomedical sciences? Note it down. Then go to the website and x-ray the website. Sometimes you realize that there are some health courses, or there are some certain courses that would fall under innovation or science. In your mind, you want to think that it should be under strengthening health system and capacity. But when you check, you will see that in science and technology and development. For example, regenerative medicine. If you want to think about that, what should come to your mind should be that should be under strengthening health system and capacity, right? But it's under science and technology for development.
In fact, I saw an example here for drug chemistry. It's under health system and capacity. I was thinking it should be under science and technology for development or something.
Good. So that's a very key point. Take out your time. So that's the first thing first. Go through what Commonwealth has to offer. Then start matching them with what you want to do. That's a very important thing. Don't just rush to start applying. Start matching them with what you want to do. Highlight them. Okay, so whatever I'm going to write, because whatever essays you're going to write is going to depend on the theme it's falling under as well. That's how you tell your story. Yes, it's not the story, it's a story. You know, it's like a movie, a season movie. So you need to tell everything and they have to align. So the first thing first, so that's what you should do. Go through everything and see where it falls under. So that's the first thing you do. Then, please go to the school website and look at the school website. In fact, I so much read my University of Birmingham website that I can still tell you everything that I saw on the page. Because the story you are going to tell, some of the stories you are going to tell will be based on what the information that are there. You are not manufacturing. The truth is, you are not manufacturing any of these things. You are getting information. You are sharing your own story. You are just getting information from everywhere, but you are telling a very good, convincing script. It's your story. However you want to tell it. Anyhow you want to tell it. So the first thing first is that the website is being displayed. That's what you should do. Highlight the theme you want to go under. Then look at all the sub courses that are in the various school. And please go to the school website and with that, you'll be able to have an idea on the particular course that you'll be applying for. I just want to chip in this. I don't like talking for too much. I just like directing. I just want to chip in this. Someone asked, what if you don't have a dissertation in mind? For me, please have a dissertation in mind. Now, it does not necessarily mean that that's what you will do. But it's very easy to have it. It's very easy to get a dissertation in mind. Go to the school website. Look at what they are doing now and pitch your tent there. Simple. Go to the school website. That was what I did for University of Birmingham. I went there and good enough. It was what I did in my project was actually close to, was around what I picked that I wanted to do. Right? So go to the school website. You must see a top, have a dissertation in mind. Why shouldn't you have a dissertation in mind? Have a dissertation in mind, and it's very easy. I repeat, it doesn't mean that that's what you will do, but let these people know that you are prepared, that you are ready. And it includes having a dissertation topic in mind. Go to the school website, you can see what they are doing. All the schools, you can see what they are doing currently. And you just teach and improve that, work on that, make that a very important, make it seem, as in make it known that your country needs it. If they don't get this thing, they will die. Just present it like that, that we need this solution. Do you understand? And with that, you've gotten a dissertation topic in mind. And it makes these people see that you're ready, like you actually know what you want. So that's a summary for choosing getting a course. Just go to the website, see what they have to offer. Does it align with what you want to do? Check the school website and get the ball rolling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, fam. I mean, that's very, very insightful. So please check, reflect, what do you really want to do, then select the right course, the right program for you. What is best for me might not be the best thing for you. Check the kind of courses that are available on the website, and check the requirement on the university webpage to know what is required of you, and if possible, and it's not even if possible, because in my own application I also have dissertation or topic that I put there, but I didn't later do anything on that particular topic. So it's not a must, but right now, if you're able to come up with something that you are open to work on in your for your dissertation, it's fine, it's perfect. You can see two of our speakers already mentioned that. You can see how important that is, because that shows that you are prepared. You know what you want to do. You know the impact that you want to make in your community. Thank you very much, fam, for that. So, Olaoye, we still want to ask you that. What do you think make you stand out? You know, you finished with 2-1, strong 2-1, anyways, because it's strong. So you finish with 2-1. But what do you think actually stand you out? What do you think makes you a Commonwealth scholar at the end of the day?
Okay, so thank you very much. Like, I think I'm a bit different because I didn't go in the line of dissertation in mind, and I will justify what I did. Like, so people that like probably know me before now, I've always been in this public health space, sexual and reproductive health, youth advocacy. That's what I do, and I still do it now. But I'm in Birmingham for clinical oncology. And how did oncology start? So, well, I'm always someone that I believe in volunteering so much. And all my life, I've volunteered in the research and development space for sexual and reproductive health teams. So I was R&D director for like 5-6 years, started from school. So imagine I was director for research and development for an organization that is recognized by the UN for 5 years. That's a volunteer experience. So I had like 6 years working experience before even I finished my internship. Then during my internship, I did my internship in usage, but I started developing interest in oncology. So I volunteered to be a research assistant with a medical doctor in radiation oncology department. Just 1 month working with him for free.
So you are strategic from the beginning when
exactly.
You know that you
See,
really
that's
want
what
to
I call
do
strategic volunteering. You know what you want. It doesn't have to give you money at the beginning. Just see, and I'll tell the story to what I'm doing currently now in Birmingham. So I started volunteering with Dr. Jimo. Then 1 month, Dr. Jimo was like, no, Famdi, I want you to work with Lakeshore. Lakeshore then was the only cancer center in Nigeria that a kind of hospital based on cancer alone, Lakeshore Cancer Center. And we had an affiliation with a US cancer center too. So when I joined Lakeshore, I did the interview. It was like I was fresh in oncology. It wasn't my best of interviews, but then my number of publications alone could not let them say, oh, this guy is going. So Lakeshore said, okay, we think we'll offer you research assistant instead of research team lead. Then I joined Lakeshore. 2 months into Lakeshore, 2-3 months into lecture, I got this letter, oh, you are the research coordinator, blah, blah, blah. So I sort of became the research coordinator. But I was just a pharmacy. I was still doing my internship then in UCH. So I was being paid in lecture and I was working remotely. I only go there like once a month during weekends. And with lecture, we're doing a lot of clinical trials. I was in charge of the cancer registry, where all cancer patients. So I was exposed to what was happening. And while I didn't exactly like the job because I was just the only pharmacist on the team and I was working with consultants. So it was more or less like I was still like in post. I was on top of the food chain, but then when it comes to what is happening, I was underneath the food chain. So, but then I gained a lot from the process. I immersed myself in the clinical trials, the proposals. I studied them. When they were stuck with anything with the clinical trials proposals, they would just call, Dami, what are we doing on Yamatech? I'll be like, oh, this is what we're doing, and blah, 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 and everything. So with that, I got a grant from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to do a research on cancer. See how I started building a research assistant, research team lead, a research grant from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals to write on immunology, immunotherapy in cancer. I did that too. When it was time for Commonwealth Scholarship, I applied to several
together.
schools. Yeah?
You brought all the experiences together.
I applied to
Tell the story.
Several schools. 8 schools, public health, 1 clinical oncology, Birmingham. You know, see what I did? Every of those experiences and
how many schools did you apply to, Dami?
Like 10. I think when you said 10 schools, I think it was me.
Wow.
Yeah. See, when it comes to I'm very good at personal statements. Yusuff sent me an application 3 days ago, and 3 hours after I submitted. I was like, I'm done. And that's it. Personal statement for me is the rate limiting step. But if you are good at it, like if I share my screen now, my Word document, I have like 12 different tabs open of Word documents of different personal statements I've written. If I want to create one, I will just hybridize everything I've written. I'll make something fresh, something new, without plagiarizing anything, and I'm good to go. That's my own strength. So when I applied public health, I applied all those schools. And last year I was reserved list for Commonwealth Cambridge, MasterCard Cambridge for both. Then I just remained on reserve list for Commonwealth Scholarship and MasterCard Scholarship. So I knew that this year, like, there's no way. So when I applied, I put my grants, Pfizer Pharmaceuticals grants, my publications, complete 10 publications, and I already have a publication in cancer oncology at that point. My research experience, I have research experience already, volunteering in UCH with Dr. Jimo, research assistant for the first 3 months in lecture, research team lead after. That shows the career progression in oncology. And I was able to justify what I was doing, the clinical trials I was leading, the registry I was managing, how I optimized the registry. That was that. And I used that straight into the developmental impact. So what has been the problem? The deaths of researchers. We don't have so much researchers. The problem of cancer in Nigeria when it comes to epidemiology, and our registry in Nigeria is not even optimized.
Right.
So I went through all those to state the problem, to state my solution, and to use my experience to say I can do this because I have the experience in it. And I submitted. You know, the funny thing is, my submission for Birmingham was the quickest, and it was like the one I said I was like, maybe I just wanted to. I like cancer. Maybe I should do this. I got a response first from Birmingham, like as early as March ending. So I was in the market. I got a call from the University of Birmingham, and they were asking questions. Why Birmingham? Why this? Why that? It was strange. I was not asking people. Do universities do interview before they pick you?
They call.
Yeah.
No, they don't. That's not really not. That was not an interview, anyways. That was just a call once you get the admission.
So I was, and because I got the admission already, I got admission into Birmingham like immediately, like 2 weeks after I applied, and I just spent the admission. I didn't accept my offer because I was like, no, public health is coming. but then with time, I started getting engrossed in oncology. I was writing papers. So I just went back to the Birmingham admission and accepted. Then a month after or 2 months after, I got a call. Then the call was like, why Birmingham? Why this? Do you have friends here? And I thought it was scammers, honestly, at first. I thought, wait, are these scammers? But then I answered the question. I just left the market space, went into a place. I answered the question to the best of my knowledge. And 2 weeks after, I was in a meeting. I just saw, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. You have been professional, blah, 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 Commonwealth Award. It was a magic. And Commonwealth Shared Scholarship from Birmingham came first. No brainer. I didn't think twice. I accepted straight up. Because honestly, in the clinical oncology, in the oncology space right now, we don't have so much pharmacists doing a lot, creating grounds. And these grounds, this pattern that we started, and when I saw that the last Commonwealth scholar in clinical oncology was also a Nigerian pharmacist, I mean, so when I got here, we were supposed to do something like clinical rotation and everything, and my first interview with them, I told them, this is what I want for myself, and this is what I want to do. And they were like, oh, this is what you should do. Clinical rotation should not be your priority. You're research focused. Do this. And in that process, I've started seeing maybe lecturers that are showing interest. Oh, join our lab. Let's do this together. Oh, we want to train you in bioinformatics. This is what we want you to do. And I'm not going to them and saying, sir, I want you to sponsor me for PhD. I'm saying, I want to volunteer with your lab. I don't want you to pay me. I want to join your lab as a volunteer. I want to learn what you guys are doing. And the first person I spoke with said, oh, next year you can join us, like in January, because they have so much ants now. They can't take me in. Then I spoke with another person and he was like, oh, yeah, it's interesting that I mentioned that I want to volunteer. What is my experience? They asked for my experience. And I didn't mention this, that I did my project with Professor Iruka, and that was a bioinformatics biotechnology project. I just told them I have a background in bioinformatics and biotechnology. And I was like, wow, I'm the first student in seeing this year that has experience in bioinformatics. That can I code? I was like, I learned Linux, and I have experience in R. He was like, I'll link you up with someone. He just messaged someone immediately. And we said that's like the biggest bioinformatics guy, Dr. Duncan. Is here, and we had a meeting with Dr. Duncan, and
that simply means that all kinds of experience,
yes, it matters.
It's very, very important.
And I will tell you that because I have experience in R and Linux, that was the only reason why Duncan was like, he would be my supervisor straight up, like without even having a project. And Dr. Graham was like, oh yeah, I'll be his co-supervisor. Like I don't have to go around and search for supervisor, but then when people see intentionality in you, it makes you stand out. See, for me, sometimes people say, oh, maybe if you recalculate your CGPA, maybe you could have entered first class and everything. And even at the last day of graduation, someone told me that, Dami, you might regret not having a first class. A classmate of mine said this, and I was just like, oh, well. Oh, well. But then the truth is that I don't agree that there are no differences between the grades of class. Like someone said in the comments section that a first class is not different from second class. Or see, there are differences. But then your story.
What do you? Yeah.
You need something more.
What we stand for. Like I can't be in any gathering in either public health or what's it called, and someone will ask me what's your class of graduation. Like, in fact, if I didn't mention it, a lot of people just believe that this guy is the first class graduate. Like, he finished with the first class. Like, that's the assumption. Because the way you do your things, the kind of intentionality you put in things, you will be able to stand at par with people that you are different from, that are not in the same class with you. And towards getting what you want, academic excellence is not the only thing that can take you there, but then it's very important. Like, it's very important. But saying that, you can't, so you have not heard anybody talk here and say that I was in first class and that was all. Adebisi volunteered, he has grants, he has publications. Toyosi was talking about a foundation, like, and going to research and everything. You can't just say, oh, I have a first class, I will get it. No, I can't say, oh, yeah, strong to one.
And that's why we have a number of people. I think we have a number of people with 2-1 that got the funding as well.
Yes.
So what can you do differently? Exactly. What have you done differently in the past?
Now we have a lot of 2-1s that are getting the funding, because these guys, I'm sorry, because the fact that they know that at 2-1, you want to compete with a whole lot more people that are probably, they have an advantage. It's just like I'm competing with someone with one leg, and I'm competing with people with 2 legs. Like, I know that I have to augment myself to run faster. That's why you see when 2 people with 2-1, they go out for scholarship that they are eligible for, they go all out. And if you hear the stories, and you'll be like, oh man, you've done a lot. And that's just it, intentionality. Be intentional, volunteering, application, and don't actually think anything will come on a platter. Nothing comes on a platter.
Thank you very much, Dami, for that. I mean, it's very, very important. Like, again, we are still going to emphasize that. Look inward. What are the things that you think makes you really exceptional or different from other people, or things that you've done that you think you need to talk about? So it's about how you put things together. Like they all said, you need to identify a problem, because that's why this scholarship was established in the first place. Which program are you looking forward to solving in your community? Look at the problem, quantify the problem. How do you want to approach it? These are all the things that your essays should actually look up, should be able to give more information about, and why you are indeed the best person to do that. And everything boils down back to your experiences, what you've done. It's about how you put all these things down. In fact, most of the time, I notice that some people, they've done quite a lot of things, but when it comes to the time when they want to talk about themselves, they are unable to do that. Let me give you a quick hack. Just put your CV. You have a CV for all your achievement, everything that you've achieved. Just always put it in that CV. And when you want to apply for things, look at that CV. Look at, oh, what possible story can I tell out of this story that will make me stand out for this particular opportunity? Because that's why most of the time people miss out on things. For instance, you've published a paper that is relevant to what you're applying for, and you forgot to mention that in your essay. That's not good enough. Please kindly look inward. What are the things that you've done? There's no little thing. That's, even if you volunteer to do awareness, it's still part of things that you've done. What are the things that you can synthesize from that makes you the best person for them to give this opportunity to, or to tell your story in a coherent and logical way that show you in the best light. So this is not about lying, it's about telling your story. And that's why you see some people, they've done something really small, but with the way that we talk about it, you have been doing all sorts of things, you're unable to tell your story. Please have a CV where you have all your achievements. Then look at that CV. What possible story can you tell that will stand you out for this particular opportunity that you're applying for? Because most of the time, people tend to downplay their achievements. I noticed that. They downplay their achievement because maybe they think it's easy to achieve, or maybe they think it's not important. And that shows in the application. You've won something that is relevant, that is really important, and you didn't put in your application. Then who will put it? These people don't know you. It's what you put on paper that they will review to see that, oh, okay, this person has done. Imagine Dami is unable to put his story together on all his experience in cancer, the paper that he has written, his leadership role. He didn't mention anything like that, or just mentioned in a way that is not coherent, or a way that is not motivating to see that this person is capable. They will just throw the application somewhere or pick another person. So most of the time, you've done quite a lot of things. Look inward and look at how. Okay, maybe you're a best graduate student and you have a lot of awards in a particular department, and you didn't mention that in your application. That will be, for instance, if you're applying to, let's say, chemistry, and you have one of the highest score in your department, or you have distinction in chemistry or something, you have to look for a way to mention that because of your passion, blah 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 blah, and your dedication to chemistry, you even finish as one of the best in your class, and you scored the highest grade. Mention that too. Is also relevant, because that's what you have at that particular point in time. But you're able to look for a story around that But imagine you have that kind of thing and you didn't talk about it and how it's actually relevant for them to see that, oh, this person is actually worthy of our investment. This person has real passion for this particular area. So please look inward, look at your achievements, what you've done, and how you can bring meaningful story together. That even if you read your SOP, you'll be inspired. Am I the one? Is this me? That you will be shaking that I need to give this guy the funding. So please, it's very, very important for you to show yourself in the best light. Remember, this is competitive. This is not the time to be modest. Okay, let me hide. Oh, I won this grant. Oh, if I win this particular grant, they will not give me funding. Oh, because I've won this particular grant. Oh, they thought I'm maybe I have money or I have this. No, it's part of the achievement. They will see that, okay, this person is worthy of more. And this person has done the grand work. It's about doing the grand work. And you'll be able to show them that I've done this thing clearly in your application. And don't forget, as Toyosi also said, and Dami said, how does everything that you want to propose, how are they going to solve the SDG or propel us towards SDG? Many countries in Africa, we are still lagging behind when it comes to sustainable development goals. Virtually most of the goals. So that means that we still need more people to think innovatively to solve this problem. So which problem are you solving? And how do you want to actually propel or advance the achievement of SDG in your country? Remember, this application is country-centric in the sense that they want you to make impact in your country. They want you to make impact in your community. And you have to show that needs to shine through your application. When they finish reading your application, they should not be asking that question, what's the impact that this person will want to make? Because that's why it was established in the first place. And you have to be able to show that in your application for any program that you're applying for under Commonwealth Shared. So thank you very much, Dami, for sharing that. I want Rachael to talk about publication. Do you think publication is important? Because people here, they don't have publication. And they are scared, because I've not published anything. I don't have any paper, then I'm going to be rejected.
No. Publication is not very important. But if you have it, it's good. Publication is not very important. I think, like we have just been mentioning, if you are not strong in one area, amplify the area that you are strong in.
Right.
Do you get? If you are volunteered, you have leadership, you are innovative, shine more light on the places you have strength rather than the places that you are weak in terms of publication. Like I used to mention, for me, apart from my internship and my NYC, I've actually not been in a paid employment. Everything I have, all of my CV is volunteering. So if you have that, that's why we used to encourage a lot of people during their undergraduate that they should volunteer a lot, even if you don't need it, even if you don't know how it like aligns with your all purpose. Or because a lot of times when you volunteer, you just merge it together, and then there's sometimes when what you are volunteer for might not actually be in line with what you're applying, but there's a way you can twist it and tell the story.
Exactly.
So it's very important. Publication is not the whole thing that is important. It is how you tell your story, is how you project yourself, is how you tell yourself that you are worthy of investing in. You have the ROI. For example, sometimes for me, I had a publication in drug discovery and I'm applying for public health. So how do I so it's as if I did not even have a publication, so to speak. So it's very important to just focus on your strength. Focus on what you are good at. Focus on what you have achieved. If it is first class that you have, project it. I'm the first graduate student, I had accolade, project it. If it is volunteering experience that you have, project it. If it is people, just things that you do, is your talent, you have coding skills, project it. Or what have you done? And it's very important to note that, for example, you are talking about any issue that you are trying to solve. What have you done in your little capacity to solve the problem? What have you done? That's where the pace of volunteering comes in, the part of probably even awareness of public health. You have done that. Even, okay, you have just done something small, even in your school, even your political ambitions. If you are good in sports, project that. If you have done, because me, I did, I was a senator in my faculty. I projected that as well. That's my leadership skill. So they see that, okay, this person is all round. This person is just not academia. Those are the kind of people they are looking for. Somebody that is special. Damilola was our class representative. He has done something. So even if you don't have the publication, you can still excel. And very importantly, pray in whatever God that you believe in, pray. In my university right now, for this year, I think they have only one slot for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. It is highly, highly competitive. We cannot deny that fact. It is very, very competitive. And at this point, they're not just looking at how special you are. They're looking for, only God knows what they're looking for, really. I have to be honest. So pray in whatever God that you believe. God is the giver of all opportunities. Some people will have all the accolades and still not. I'm not saying that, but it is more of prayer, dedication, and projecting what you are believing. And before I close this session, make sure that you review your essay. I paid to get my Commonwealth essay reviewed. And the person that reviewed my essay is a 3-time Commonwealth scholar. So I paid because I know that person is very, very busy. And for me to have my Commonwealth essay reviewed, I had to pay. So these are some of the sacrifices you have to do. Because sending your essay to somebody free of charge is good. But there might not be dedication because the person is busy. So if you have to pay, you could pay. Because I did that. I paid for mentorship. I joined webinar. There are a lot of all my internship and NYC money. The application I use am do. So please. So
Okay.
yeah, that's it. Thank you.
And
Thank you. Yeah, you can.
okay,
Yeah, you can
okay,
speak.
no, just so I just wanted, I don't know if you're seeing some questions there on the YouTube because I'm there now and I'm seeing all the questions. So if you can just be answering some of them.
Can I quickly add something? I had my hand raised. Sorry.
Yeah, Dami. Yeah, we'll go to questions now. Yeah, Dami,
Okay.
you can talk.
So
yeah, muted.
Okay, sorry. So one thing that is important that we might missing this is each school has a slot, and Toyosi mentioned it. Like you can go to the list of schools and they have particular number of slots. Maybe Cambridge has 8, Oxford has 6, Birmingham has
I'm showing
you
that
can
now.
see you can see they have number of scholarship available in that school. When I applied, Birmingham has just 2, and they had more courses. They had just clinical oncology and one other course. Right now, clinical oncology is not even part of the courses available for you to apply for again. They removed it for this year's application cycle. And I got this tip from Adebisi that check the schools, check the number of slots they have, know how many people you are competing with. The reason why I thought Birmingham was
so you can't know the number of persons, but you already know the
number of slots we are competing for, rather.
Competing for.
See, it's more or less like this game of chairs where you dance around chairs, and you had 6 chairs. You dance around this. Some of you are dancing around 6 chairs, but then if it's just one chair, you have to give your all. You have seen some schools with just 2 slots, and you see they have like 4 or 5 different funded courses around different thematic areas. The competition will be steep.
The Bangor is really high this year. They have 8.
Yeah.
Glasgow also had 8. My school had 8.
Exactly.
Oxford sent 4. So please check so that you know the number of people you are like.
Don't apply for all the schools you're applying for. All the schools you're applying for has just 2 slots. And you think you have submitted just 2 applications. Like, I mean, you might be the best of the best, really, and you might get it. But then, despite the fact that we are talking about you telling your story, your readiness has to meet the available slots, available chance.
And it's strategic.
Exactly.
It's strategic on the look at the slots that are actually available to make some decision as well.
We are currently just 2 Commonwealth Scholar in Birmingham now that I've met, and yeah, the one in clinical oncology, then someone else outside of that, biological sciences, and she's from India. That's just the difference. So apart from reading the school website, read Commonwealth. See, Commonwealth websites can be complex to navigate sometimes. Sometimes I miss my way on where's the application link. But then every part of the Commonwealth website can actually give you specific insight into what you should do, and they're very important. That's just one thing I didn't want to miss. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think before we go to Q&A, let me talk about this briefly. For each of the application, you have to if you want to submit like 10 application, that means that you have to submit separate application for the 10 university. Not that you will mix everything together. Like you apply for maybe Glasgow, Oxford, Cambridge. I know someone that did that. He put all the application in one. So the person was rejected because they're looking at what happened. So you have to submit separate application, please. Separate application for each university. If you are applying to 5 university, you have to open different tab, right? On the Commonwealth website. So you will see the application, you will see it, University of Cambridge. You will see your application ID. For another session, you will see another university again. So just add more. Not that you will submit all the application. Like for all the universities that you're applying to, you put everything together. I don't even know how Adebisi was able to do that because it's clear. You should be able to see it. But I know it can be a bit dicey because Dami just said it too. The website can be somehow, like if you look at it, just open separate application for different university. Not that you mix everything up together. And if you are using the same essays, for instance, if you are applying to masters in public health in one school and you want to apply to masters in public health in another school, separate application, right? Please make sure that you edit the application so that you will not be mentioning University of Glasgow inside the University of Oxford application. Please be careful with that because that one is automatic rejection. No matter what you do, they think that this person is not serious. Please review your application so that you will know that, okay, you're not mixing up the school. Inside Glasgow, you're mentioning Oxford. How? So make sure that you edit thoroughly so that you make sure they see each application to different schools to be unique. Because when you submit all the application will be sent to Cambridge, one will be sent to Glasgow, the one that will be sent to Oxford, UCL. They will send your application to different university. So that if you apply to 200 schools, they won't know. The only person that we know is Commonwealth, but they don't care. They already said that you can apply to as many schools as you want. You just be you'll be able to select just one at the end of the day if you have 1 million offers. So you have to go with one. So please make sure that you look at your application so that you will not be mentioning one university inside another one because you are using the same essay. So you have to make sure that you are careful with that. You don't have enough time. The deadline is 12th of December. So you have to make sure that you are able to look inward and make sure that you submit separate application and also look at the university website to know the necessary requirement. Also check the page to know the slot. It's on the website, Commonwealth website. All the slot for each university, they are all there. So now let's go to Q&A now. The questions that we have on YouTube channel. So we can have our panelists touch on them. Thank you very much, our panel. I know you are very, very busy, but please do this for us today. Thank you very much. Someone is asking that, how long should a CV be? Maybe for graduate school, how long should that be? I will call on Farm Goodnews to give us insight on that. How long should a CV be?
Okay. Now, okay, for grad school, so I'm going to say this first and foremost, you may want to look at what some schools they will tell you. Some applications will tell you 2 pages. Some will tell you 2 pages. But in a situation whereby they did not specify, it can be as long as it wants to. However, it should be well structured. Yes, it should be well structured and enjoyable to read. Yes, when you see a CV that is really enjoyable to read, you know, right? So some PhD applications, actually, I've seen some, even in Cambridge, they will tell you they just need 2 pages. Some they just tell you just structure everything relevant to the application. They just want it to be 2 pages. However, when that is not mentioned, it should be as long as it wants to, but should include only relevant skills. So it should be relevant. Anything that is not relevant, anything that is irrelevant should not be on your CV. So for grad school, so I'll just give a summary. It should come with a personal summary. So if you're someone you're looking for a PhD, for a master's, your personal summary should actually project that, your background, and what.
No need for your religion, all those things. There's no need for those.
In fact, there's no need for sex even. You know, so
Sex, exactly.
you don't have to put. Who wants to know your sex?
Your
Just
age,
click on
there's
it
no
for
need for those
sex.
kind of thing.
Yes, yes, because when you are making your application, you are going to fill in those details, your
Yeah.
sex and all that, right? So basically, your CV should just contain your name and your address. Be your address, your email, your digital address, like email, LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
all that. Then the next thing, your personal summary. Now, I'm saying this because I've used it for I've used it for applications and it has worked. In fact, even me, I'm proud of my CV. I'm proud of my CV because I've used it even in Cambridge and it has worked. I've used it in outside Europe. I've used it in Europe. I've used it in Austria. I've used it in Australia. It has worked. So I can say that I think I have a very good CV, right? So, so the thing is, I've used it in the US, it has worked. So I'm saying it from the point of using it in real space. So it should contain your name, address, then your personal summary. Just project what you want to do. Yes, I am a biomedical researcher. I have a background in this. This is what I have, and this is what I'm looking out for. You summarize it like um three, 3, 4, 5 lines max. You're there. Then the next thing that follows your educational training. Yes, your educational training. Now, there's no hard or fast rule to this. I'm just saying how it can actually come. But I believe if someone wants to see your CV, if you're applying for a postgrad program, once he sees that summary, the next thing he wants to see is what you have now, like your educational qualification. That's what the person wants to see. Then, if you have had relevant work experience, right? Relevant work or research experience, you want to present that for the person to actually see. Relevant trainings, you just want to present that person to see. Then, of course, if you have publications, you want to present those publications. Now, those are key things that because they want to see your skill when it comes to graduate school, masters. They just want to see what you've had so far, right? Then the next thing. Now, some persons they may want to put if they have 20, 30. Let me not scare people because most persons here they may not have up to that number. If
Yeah.
it's one or two publication, if you by now you start saying 20, 30 publication,
You
people
can
are
also put
scared
your
already.
dissertation, your undergraduate dissertation.
Yes, no. In fact, what I do now at this point, my dissertation comes. I attach my dissertation to my qualification, each of my training, right? So each of your training, you put your dissertation topic, like what you did at the end, not just your grade now. So as you put your graduating grade, you include your dissertation on it. I'm telling you, standard CV, what you did. If possible, attach your supervisor name also. This is
Right.
what you did. Yeah, so that's different. Then under under your research experience now, under research experience, you want to now summarize what you did in your dissertation because that is a research experience. Really, that's a research experience. So you want to summarize what you did in your dissertation, and most importantly, some of the skills you learned in that dissertation. Yes, in that period of research. So your research experience. Then before you now put awards, really awards is really not so much important because a lot of times you get to feel those awards when you are even applying for the school. You feel that you actually feel that already it's already programmed in the school website, but you want to put your awards, whatever awards you've got. If you've not gotten any award, then you want to put volunteer experiences and all that. So give and take your number of CV. If there are no caveats, as long as it wants to. But however, I believe it should also be concise. It shouldn't be so. It should be concise. So things that are not relevant, you should take it out. So basically, I don't know if I've actually answered that question very well.
Yeah, I think you have. Thank you very much for that. So please check the instruction to know maybe they want 2 pages, but if they didn't say anything, still make it as long as possible, but make it concise. And as I said, structure it properly so that they will not get angry that you are sending so a CV that is too long but it's not well structured.
Structured.
The
Yeah.
structure is very, very important. Someone is asking again that can you please shed light on how to answer the question, provide a short outline of your proposed study or research. What if I don't have a dissertation topic in mind? Seriously, can you talk about that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that proposed study. So I'm coming. So for the proposed study, I think what can help you is to go to the school website. and check what are the modules that you are going to be offering. Do you understand? What are the modules you are going to be offering? And for example,
Write something around that.
yes, write something around that. Then check the lecturers in the university as well. What's their area of interest?
What they are doing. Yeah.
What's their area of interest? So you could because most of the times the person that is going to review your essay might be one of those lecturers. So seeing something interesting, if you do a lot of US applications, you know that in SOP you put I read this person's professor so I like this area of interest, something like that. But so try and look at what the school is currently offering and try and write something around that. Check what the professors are doing and now link that to the problem you are solving. So you now say that after doing all of these things, after getting all of these modules, I can now solve this problem. And you can also look at the good thing that the UK is currently doing. UK is the Western world. They are way ahead of us in some things than African countries. So you can say their academic curriculum, their health response process, you want to learn about that. You want to learn the modern healthcare system. You want to learn the innovative healthcare delivery. Something like that. So you can use that to tailor your proposed study in the UK. Just try and before I move on from here, if you're applying for public health in one school and public health in another school, most of the time the curriculums are different. So if you have to make it an individual, even if you are writing the same story, you still have to make an individualized application. The focus of each school might be different from another. So
even if they are both public health programs,
exactly,
the focus might be different.
Exactly, it's very important. So for example, in a school, they might be focused on probably health promotion and health improvement. Another school is doing something entirely different. So when you are writing a dissertation on health promotion in a school that they are not doing that might be like a cane you are shooting yourself in the leg.
Exactly.
So check the curriculum, check what the university is doing, check their goal, and check what you can achieve and what the lecturers are doing, and you can write something around that for your proposed study in the UK. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I wanted to say something.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, just to add to what you say, I just wanted to buttress a point. Now, the thing is, you cannot think of doing a particular dissertation or master's in a particular school on what they don't have any lecturer specialization on. Yes, they are not doing it, and you say that's what you want to do. It's really not relevant. Yes, so that's the importance of checking what they are doing. And I think, see, it's easy. The information is there. Just check it. You get, like, the information is there. So that's why I still believe that there's no reason why you should not have an idea, like present an idea, because they have the information, right? So if you are doing something in public, you want to do something in public health, check what they have to offer. Pick one and present, link it up to what you are like the problem you want to solve, and present it to them. I think that's such a difficult task.
And I also want to add this perspective. For people that might be having issues with cessation, there's something unique about some universities, which is optional modules. Like in Birmingham now, Birmingham offers some optional modules like systematic review and evidence synthesis, immunology, immunotherapy. You could even say that this specific optional module is one of the biggest reasons why you want this course and how this interplays with what you want to do. Because it could even be that, there are some extracurricular activities that would connect you with some specific unique perspective that is needed in implementing some of your developmental projects. Each university, you can write something that is completely generalized and they will know that, this is not for us. Just for people that have applied to Commonwealth Scholarship before, don't use your previous essay in this essay. Like we have, because you think, you probably you had a reserved scholarship space last year. You were a reserved scholar last year, and you want to apply this year. You are now using that same essay this year. It won't fly.
You can be rejected. You are likely to be rejected.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a team with plagiarism or anything. Like there was even one application I made to Cambridge. I got an offer last year, and I was going to apply for the same space because I already chatted with the lecturer and we had an agreement. He wanted me, and I had the offer last year, but then I didn't get the funding I wanted. So I just resubmit my application, and Commonwealth just sent me a mail that because I used same application last year for this year, it counts as self-plagiarism. Hence, I wouldn't get the space, and that was it.
That's very, very important. Thank you, Damilola, for sharing that. Don't repeat.
Recycle applications. You submitted it. Once you submit it, just assume that it has been published. Just assume it has been published.
And don't plagiarize another person. For example, somebody got an admission in another school, so you want to apply to another school. You are now lifting the person's introduction or something.
Exactly. Like
that clearly shows that they actually store all applications.
Yes, they do.
They will not compare all applications against what they have.
It's just
their database will even flag it.
Exactly.
You know the thing is, what I think is, like, okay, let's say like a school like SOFA, there's some universities that have application systems that all the universities just build on that system. Maybe there's even a supercomputer that controls all the application acceptance. Once they are reviewing the application, there can be a script that tells them similarity index with this. And that's it. It might even be that you are submitting same cycle and you wrote an application for Oxford. Same thing you wrote, you are writing it for Cambridge. You never can be sure that it won't count as plagiarism.
Yeah.
So even if it's just changing your introduction.
Wordings.
Yeah, you can't change your story. Your story is your story. They know that.
Exactly.
So if it's just changing your introduction, it makes it feel like, oh, like for one of my applications, I started with a quote from WHO. Public health expert has advised that if we don't do this to AMR, this will continue. Then I entered my essay. For this reason, blah, 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 blah. So I built on that. My second essay, I didn't even use that quote. I started with a story. And that's it. So don't recycle any essay. It's dangerous. You might get away with it. I don't know. But then it's dangerous. So it's just better. Change it if you can. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Dami. Please make sure that you change your application. Make sure that they are tailored to each university and what they want to offer you. So change the wordings. It's still your story, as I said, but change the wordings, the way you structure everything, and make it look unique for that school. It's very, very important. Thank you very much, Dami, for sharing that. Very, very important. And thank you, Rachael, for that insight too. So another question here is, and regarding the dissertation, please come up with any potential topic. You can just come up with something that you think is going to be useful to your community. It doesn't have to be that that's what you are going to do when you get into the university. Just come up with a dissertation topic that you think they have that expertise in the university based on what you read on the website. It's very, very important.
One lazy way to do it. I mean, lazy people find the easiest way to do stuff. So just check that area. Browse on PubMed, what has been done so far in that area. You see what has been done so far, different wet lab experiments, different experiments has been done in that area, different citations that has been done. Coin yours out of it in a way that is relevant to you. So it gives you an idea that you don't know now is not a problem. That you now go into the application not knowing that's the problem. There are databases, like you have a lot of database online that you can check keywords. If it's flooding Nigeria, cholera, check it. It gives you different kinds of hits. And you see, oh, this one is interesting. They did this one in North. Can I say I want to do it in Southwestern Nigeria? So, yeah.
Exactly. Thank you very much. While checking to apply to the university for admission, do you pay application fee? Do you also do a transcript evaluation, or do they accept official transcripts? Rachael, can you touch on that?
Yeah, for the application fee, it depends on the school. It depends. It depends on the school. I think Oxford pay money. For my school, I didn't pay money. So it depends on the school. It's on the school website. Like we earlier mentioned, make sure you apply to the school first. Because I've even seen a case where somebody got Commonwealth and they did not see the person's application, and the application has closed for the school. So there's not
That's the
anybody, the
end.
person has to forfeit
There's nothing that can be
admission.
done.
So
Exactly.
first of all, go to the school website, check their application, write their own SOP, do their own application.
Check whether
So
you're going
it's
to
when
pay
you
or
want to
not.
do that. Yeah. It's when you want to do that, then you can now see if you have to pay money or you don't have to pay money.
Okay.
Then please, what's the second part of the question?
You also do transcript evaluation.
Okay, yes. UK they colonized us in Nigeria, so I think they understand our system. Unlike Canada and US, that you might have to do West evaluation. For UK, I don't think you have to do West. It depends on the school again.
Yeah. No,
It
you
depends on
don't.
the school.
I don't think any school in the
For
UK.
nobody asks for West evaluation. The
The
only
UK,
thing they could probably tell you is to contact your school and send the transcript from the school to university.
Yeah.
directly.
You don't have to. You might not have to submit yourself. It can be your school that will send it officially to the university that you are applying to. So that's
And when you're applying, you can use unofficial. You can use unofficial transcript.
yes.
So when you get the offer, they will now ask you to
Yes.
send the transcript from your university.
Yes,
So
yes,
any transcripts, any result that you have now, you can use it for the application.
yes,
But when they give you offer, they will ask you to send the official transcript,
yes.
maybe
Okay.
through your university.
To also add something, like I said, like I had like 10 applications. I had offers for everything, and I only paid one application fee.
Wow.
So the remaining schools were all the application fees were either waived or was not required. There's some universities that give you application waiver also, and
Yes.
it will be on the system that they will waive application if you are from this set of countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. No, don't worry, speak.
okay.
That's what we're doing.
So for some people, if you know you can't afford to pay the what's it called?
Application fee.
Application fee. There are schemes that even pay for you. Like my Cambridge application fee was paid by Cambridge themselves. African Cambridge group, they paid my Cambridge application fee. There are some schemes in the school that even will pay your application fee. Birmingham does
Please
not require.
kindly check that out. As Dami said, check the university to know.
And I think you can even tell the school, you can ask the school that you're from Nigeria, low income country, everything you are suffering, like Nigerians are suffering.
Sometimes it's very important. So, like just like what Chelsea said, there was a reverse case, and it was my case that someone got the scholarship and did not apply to the school. My case was I got a Cambridge offer, and they sent me, Commonwealth messaged me that I should send my application link, code number for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, because they could not see it. So when you submit your application, download it.
Yes.
So I had to go and get the folder for all my submissions. I had to send that lady the application code number. After a month, I got the reserved list mail. And same thing happened for MasterCard. MasterCard, I could not even remember if I submitted or not, because MasterCard submission was on Cambridge website. So, some people were already contacted that they've moved to the final stage. I didn't get the message. I just got a mail from university that they would send my application to MasterCard to consider me for the scholarship. Because I said I don't know if I applied or not. And I was considered, I was placed on a reserved list. So it's more important to apply to the school, because the school themselves can consider your case and be like, oh, this guy can actually fit for the scholarship. And there are sometimes it's also good during the interview, for people that will have interview, mention the scholarships you've applied for to people interviewing you.
Yes.
Like when they ask you any other question, don't say there's no question. You don't have question, okay? Are you paying your school fees yourself? You have questions, so sir. Ask about the courses. Show them you have interest. Show them you have concerns about the course. Tell them, from what they know about you now, what kind of application scholarship do they think you can apply for? And once you then tell them that, I applied for this, that, and are there further applications I can make? That way, you're already telling them, this guy has this scholarship application. If I'm interested in him, I can push. And this department also nominates. It called? They nominate. So, without disclosing, the department can potentially say, we want this person. This is who I want. And a supervisor can say, this is who I want in my lab team. And the scholarship might have selected someone else. But then it's the lab you want that is taking you. So you'll be like, this is the person they are giving the offer to. So be expressive if you have the opportunity for an interview, to ask questions and to table your case. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that insight. Please check the website, apply, and check the university website too. So if they have waiver, please kindly apply to it. If you want to pay for the admission, but you need to when you're applying, you don't need to have any offer, but you still need to apply to the university. As you're applying on Commonwealth website, also apply to the university so that because you need to. If you don't do that, then that means that your application is going to be rejected. If you don't apply for Commonwealth, but you apply for admission, then you will not be considered for Commonwealth. If you apply for Commonwealth, but you don't apply for admission, then how do you want to take your place? So automatic rejection. Thank you very much for that, for those insights. I think Goodnews want to say something.
No. I think I've actually lost track of what I wanted to say there. Yeah. I said I've actually lost track of what I wanted to say. Yes, when I remember.
Okay. So someone is asking, how about those of us in the medical field? The grade we get is a pass. Where do we place ourselves? I think there's a place where you can put that in your application or the application form. They have different styles, maybe across different universities in the world. So there's also a place for pass too. I think, yeah, there's a place for pass, there's a place for first class, different kind of grading system. So since your degree is unclassified or classified, then you can easily go for maybe unclassified or maybe pick pass. Do you want to clarify that? I mean, maybe pass probably what something.
Yeah. I think yes. I think even like, for example, even in pharmacy, it's not regarded as, yes, you can have a CGPA, but it's not actually regarded as, it's not classified. Yes, so in that instance, because I remember when I went for, I just want to use when I went for a Commonwealth, that's the PhD stuff. What they just gave me was they didn't even look at my CG, they just gave me unclassified, like not classified. Yes, so it's there. So you can actually put unclassified, or they call it declassified, just unclassified or pass. It's because they're actually going to check your transcript as well.
And you see that, yeah.
Yes, and they will see that. And you know that I don't know how some other schools, I think your certificate even shows it if you are a lower, or if it's pass, or if it's just MBBS, it's MBBS. Farm D is Farm D, B Farm is B Farm. For what's it called now? If you have BNG, they will now put upper or lower or first class. You understand? So whatever you see in whatever, because I think it reflects in your certificate easily. They don't even need to, yes. So whatever you see there, that's what you should put. So pass is actually very fine. Pass is fine. Because the UK style, that's why the UK, if you look at the website, it's structured in such a way that it can cover various countries and various discipline system.
Right.
Yes, it covers a broad spectrum.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I mean, for some schools, the thing for instance, UI now, though they tell us that is unclassified, is declassified, but at the end of the day, we graduate with the CGPA. So you see,
on your certificate, does it show, because your certificate now, does it show?
Yeah, it does. It even shows first class with distinctions.
No certificates. No, I think it's that.
I think for certificates, I don't think I said it like that. But we have a transcript.
No, I think it's there. I think there's first class in certificates. There is.
No, if it's not in your certificate, then now the way it works, let me just try to explain this, because I lecture. So the way it works is, if it's not in your certificate, now the reason why they will give you a transcript, it's just for you to be able to sort out some of these discrepancies so that you can use it if you want to go for your postgraduate courses and all that. But if you look at other fields, you will always see their classification on every certificate.
It's not on the certificate.
It is there. I just checked my certificates now.
It's not in my own. No.
It's not in my own. It's
Is
not my
there
own.
with distinction? Is there seriously? I just said my degree now.
No. Distinction will be
Wow.
there, but you cannot see first. This distinction can be there, but I don't think you will see first class. Is there first class?
No, the certificate for UI just asks, this person has fulfilled all requirements of the university and passed the prescribed examination as this.
Okay. It's distinction that is there, not first class. It's distinction that is
Okay,
there.
not first class because
Exactly.
I have
Distinction
distinction on
that
my
is
own
there.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
so
checked
it will
now.
not
It's
be
distinction
there.
that is there.
Yeah,
So-
distinction will be there, but not class. That one is different.
Yeah,
You
the
understand?
class is not there.
It's
Yeah.
the classified, yeah.
But when I was applying, for me, I chose first class because first
Yeah.
class is
I
showing on my
understand.
transcript.
Yeah, sure. So you can.
So, but it's also fine to say that it is declassified. Well, Dami, you chose 2-1, right? Or
Yes,
what
now.
do you put there?
Yeah, it's classified. I chose that it was classified.
But whatever your class can be is already on the transcript. It's there.
Yes, they're going to check
Yeah,
it.
so-
Yes, to check it.
Yeah, it's there on the
exactly.
transcript.
They would see. One thing Commonwealth will tell you is if you submit incomplete documents, you are not going to be considered.
Exactly.
So whatever is missing in your write-up must be in the documentations. So if you are submitting an incomplete document, it's and there's always a part for majority of applications where they tell you to put other information that might have affected your grade of study. So if if you think that probably you could have done better, but then you had some concerns that could have affected, that part of the application is where you talk about it excessively.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I just want to give an example. So I'm currently in the University of Leeds and I'm doing a second master's now. So basically I got a scholarship with them that was not Commonwealth. The year I got Commonwealth. So of course I declined it, I didn't pick it. Then I applied again, and during my application, I had to state clearly that I've been offered this before. However, I did not, due to some certain reasons, I did not accept the offer. So, but I'm still interested, like, in going for this particular training, right? So sometimes it's actually very good to just in those area of when they say you should, if there's any other information you want to provide regarding that you want them to put into consideration, right? When they are, I think it's also, if you have any, you should present it to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's very, very important. That's also another insight. If you have a point to talk about why you didn't do it, please note it down, or maybe you have any issue or any concern. Thank you very much for that. So you, for some degree that maybe for MBBS now that you don't even have any CGPA calculated anywhere at all, just go select unclassified or maybe declassify or pass based on what is on the website. But if you also understand that you are a medical doctor, and most, for instance, in Nigeria, I don't think they have any final CGPA or anything. But for some department that they still assign CGPA to you, that okay, you finish with this particular CGPA, even though they said the degree is unclassified or based on, but you still have a CGPA. Because for me, I selected first class in my application. Atoyosi, is that what you did too? I think.
Yes, that's what I did.
Yeah, so you have to put, but they will see it, they will know at the end of the day, based on what is on your transcript, because you have a transcript that shows that this person falls under this class of degree. So I think it will be good for you to not say when you're applying for opportunity that your degree is declassified when you have a CGPA assigned to you, that okay, you finish with this particular grade and you have a transcript. But if it's, I know from MBBA, for medical schools, they don't even have any CGPA at all. They just graduate and that's it. And that's clear on their transcript that they don't even have any grade. They just have pass. That this person has satisfied all these things that you used to put there. So please take note of that. So does a long-term plan have to be in a government? Can it be a private firm? Goodnews, can you talk on that? Someone's asking about a long-term plan. Should it be government?
Okay. So long-term plan, I think the way I would want to look at long-term plan, it's your career plan, basically. Yeah. It's your career plan. And you can tie it to any sector you really want to work with. Do you understand? So long-term plan is actually your career plan, tying it to whatever sector that has where you want to work. So if you feel like, okay, your career plan sees you working with with the government sector, you try it there. If you feel like, oh, your career plan, your career trajectory sees you working with private sector, like the visible sectors that can actually house your career plan, it's privately owned or like private enterprise, you clearly state it there, right? So basically that's how it works. However, it's also good when whenever you're doing it, you're putting your plan, try to infuse in collaboration. Yes, just try to mix it up with collaboration. Ensure that, like, for example, so when I applied, of course I was working with Delta State University, and so mine, and of course we had collaboration with the teaching hospital. So it was always on site. And I know that when it comes to cancer generally, Nigeria is actually at the infant state. So I actually pitched that yes, I was going to work with research centers like NMRO, like a NIPRI, all those things. Although I'm not doing all those things now, but of course. But of course, you have to be ambitious. That's one thing.
Exactly.
You have to be really ambitious. Reasonable, and it should be reasonably ambitious. Like those are things that if I want to do, I can do them.
Exactly.
But at this point, I'm not interested in them. That's my own to actually at this point. Then I was interested, but now at this point, but however, these are some see, it's not a must. That's why when you want to write your essays, you have to sit down and really think critically and tell a convincing story. See, no one wants to confirm your story 2 years later to know if what you said is what you are doing. Because we have to be real to ourselves, right? You have to be able to sit down and tell a convincing story. See, you have to tell them that you have planned your life for the next 5 years. You have to make them understand. For example, everybody I speak with what I want to do, wow, they're like, God, you have everything all figured out. But is it what I'm doing now? Not quite. Some of them not really the same. Okay, so in terms of career plan, it could be government or private. Which organization, in terms of, you should tie it with your career, and which current parastatal organization actually has what you want to do. So that's what you should really dwell on, and link it up with partnership. Yes, with you can even still link it up with your professional association, like the level, what you want to do, what you want to drive. So just have some of those link and all that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that insight. I mean, key things that your long-term plan needs to be tied to your career. So they don't care whether it's government or anything. Just tie it to your career. Thank you very much for that. Must the volunteering experience relate to the area of your application? No, it's about the lessons and the key insights that you pick from that. So that's what is important. It doesn't have to relate to your application directly, but what do you learn from that? What can you pick from that? What skills have you learned from that that you can use to strengthen your application is what really matters. What if I have no publication? Like I said, we all know a number of people here that don't have publication before, and they got into Commonwealth Shared. So please, if you don't have publication, that should not be a reason why you should not apply. I think we know a number. Personally, I know a number of people that don't have any publication at all, and they are able to get in. If you have publication, that's good. It's going to put in a good light. But if you don't have it, there are other areas, like Toyosi said, there are other areas that you can use to show that you are worthy of investment. You have done this, you have done that. So look for your own strengths and areas. Some people, it might be that they are the best graduate students, or they have distinction in everything. That's their own strength. And they will hammer it, they will say it clearly, and they'll be able to use that to convince the reviewer. So it's not about, if you have publication, you still stand a chance to get the funding. Just demonstrate strength in other areas. Can my CDS officer during NYSC write my recommendation letter? I think at this stage of Commonwealth Scholarship, you don't need any, you don't need to submit any letter. You just need to put the name. I think 3 names.
Details.
Yeah.
I think their details. Yes, you need to put their names, their email address. That's the only thing you need now. But by that time, Are you
But
sure?
please don't use your CDS. So don't use CDS,
Exactly.
please.
You will have finished your NYC by
AYSC,
then.
yes.
Please, I beg. Don't use CDS. Please.
And
Because you'll
also,
have passed out by that time.
I want to add something about recommendations.
Okay.
Like if you have organizations that you excessively volunteered with, they can give you recommendations. My recommendation for Commonwealth, well, one of them was from One Voice Initiative. And one of my volunteers, someone that volunteers with us, got MasterCard scholarship, and I wrote a recommendation for her. So, and I can say with these experiences, that means this recommendation, recommendations that can tell deep stories about you matter.
Yes.
Don't
It's not about the rank of the person, whether they are professor or they are all these things that people worry about.
Yes.
It's about someone that can talk at length.
See, I discovered something.
Professors don't know how to write recommendation.
Yes, I discovered
Good boy.
I discovered something.
They copy and paste it.
Yeah, I submitted an application. I submitted an application last week.
He's a good boy.
I submitted an
That
application.
means a good boy. You should give me the scholarship.
I submitted an application last week, and I used one of my professors in Birmingham here that I spoke with, and he submitted the reference in the next 2 days. He didn't ask me for anything, just submitted the reference. So when I was speaking with another prof about just because I like to, like, after classes we have chats and everything, he was not saying, "Oh, you're Damilola, that this person spoke to you about him, that you asked him for a reference, and he just submitted some few paragraphs for you because he doesn't know so much about you yet." I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Wow.
Yeah, Dami, I just wanted to say something. So Graham actually, my PhD I got in Australia. Graham actually was very, very instrumental in writing.
Exactly. So Graham is the person writing my application, my recommendations for me now, because Graham will ask you for like drafts, what do you want, and everything. But then there are some people that I don't want to mention that they will submit.
I know what he did. You know what he did? Because then he went to get my result, like what I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
But he told me that he was going to get it from Jean. Jean was the former program coordinator. So he got it. I did not even know. Like, he got it, and that was what he used in writing recommendation.
Exactly. So there are some people that are very intentional about it. There are some people that I even had an experience that I already spoke with a prof in Nigeria to write a recommendation for me. When she got the mail, they said Quazeem is asking you for a recommendation, and she wanted to reply that she does not know the person.
Wow.
She just came back to my. So I just asked her after a week that, "Ma, have you submitted the recommendation?" You were like, she didn't get any. There was one she got that was strange, that they said she recommend Quazeem, and she does not know any Quazeem. I'm like, "Ma, you know my full name."
That means I tell that person your full name. Anybody that you ask to recommend you,
Ma,
let them know your full name.
She was like Igbalajobi, Quazeem. Honestly, and trust me, she would have ignored it and not even submit.
Wow.
When I now, thank God I followed up. That's why it's good to follow up.
Yeah, follow up.
There was one grant I lost. I got the grant, and I didn't know I lost the grant because my recommender did not reply.
Didn't know.
I went to, so it was when I was helping her do some things and I was reviewing a mail for her. I just saw ISTMH sent her a mail that, "Oh, this person already got this grant, that you just need to submit this sheet just to like sign something," and she did not respond to it. I just saw that. They never go back to me again. So you need to keep in touch with your people giving you references. And one thing I would also say that don't make your relationship with your referees just about references. It's only when you need reference you are messaging this person. See, I know it's probably not professional, but then have a relationship with them. Let them know you. Let them know what your plans are. Imagine I've not spoken with someone for 1 year now, and I need a PhD referee. I'm like, hello, Dr. Conde.
Give me a recommendation letter.
Give me a recommendation letter. She because she's a good person, she would respond. But then if it's someone that, I mean, you'd be like, do I know you? So, I mean, just on a lighter note.
Thank you very much for that. But always remember, for now, you don't need to submit any reference letter when you're applying for Commonwealth on their website. You just need to list. You only need to list the name, their email address, And please don't use your CDC officer, because by that time we have passed out, and they might not be able to maybe comment on your strength and all the things that are really very important. Because when you are shortlisted next year, you need to, I think you need to submit the letter within, I think, 2 weeks. It's a short period of time. You have to submit the letter within 2 weeks. And imagine you don't have any relationship with that person, and you just ask for letter, and they might not be able to give you.
And
So
one thing also, sorry.
yeah,
One thing also
go ahead.
They asked for 3 recommendation letters. I submitted the 3. I made sure they submitted the 3, but they only got 2. Birmingham got 2.
Wow.
It was after that was when I knew they were considering me for the scholarship. They said that we can't find your third, what's it called? Can you send it by mail personally?
Wow.
So
Yeah,
the
it happened to
first
somebody in my
application
school
process-
as well.
Yeah.
It happened to somebody in my school as well.
So yeah, the first application process, they will tell the people to upload it. But then once, if anything is missing and they are considering you actively, they might tell you to go and get it and send it through mail to them. So
Exactly.
one didn't send, and I sent it myself. And at that point, I was getting hope for already that all these people can tell me to send recommendation. Something is happening. Yeah.
It's also important that anybody that you are listing on your application right now is someone that you can reach out to later. Because I
Yes.
think it's not always easy to change the recommenders. If you are listing 3 people right now, make sure that you're able to reach out to them in the
And
next
And
Your-
tell them
6
to
months.
Your
and
relationship
also
make
tell
sure that
them.
the person, sorry.
Continue.
Make sure the person that is not lackadaisical.
and your relationship with them
Because
matters.
I had somebody I needed to write application. I've been telling the person like a month before. I even brought the application dates forward. Like, okay, say my application is going to end today, and it's supposed to be next week. The person still missed the application deadline. Now told me that can I still send it? I'm like, application has closed now.
Wow.
Like, and
So it happens. Please just take notes.
Please tell them before you list their name, because you don't need to submit any application, any recommendation letter now. You just need to list their name and email address.
and
Reach
also,
out to them that you want to do that, and they will reach out next year or sometime next year.
on
And
the
you have to be proactive to
on
follow
the
up with them.
professional ground, it's also very good. Even when you're not in an institution or an organization, your relationship with them matters. I have listed OVI as one of my recommenders, but then I left OVI already last year. So I left OVI a month after I submitted Commonwealth Scholarship, and living wasn't sort of very smooth. But then I made sure I smoothened the relationship. So at that point where Commonwealth Scholarship was asking for recommendations from them, imagine you told your HR that you probably went with a very bad attitude. That's the opportunity to write. And I have a professor that if you tell her to write a recommendation about you, she will tell everything you have done. How fast you reply mail, how fast you don't reply. When she messages you, the way you reply her, she'll go into details and give examples of the wrong things you have done in recommending. She will not ask you for drafts. And I didn't know. Someone literally told me that, you had a miscommunication with Prof concerning this project. Don't use that for your recommendation going forward. Because even if you start working together and your relationship is smooth and you are working, she will refer to that back to that, what's it called, that despite that this person is like she would say is a model student, we have had issues at this point. Yeah. So make sure you know the people you are using for your recommendations, and it's not that you're just reaching out to anybody.
Yeah, and trust them that is someone that you can reach out, that they are free with, someone that you can talk to and ask for update, that they won't feel so impressed. That's why you're disturbing them. Someone that you have good look inward, look at your university, look at people you work with, your workplace. And please, that's very, very important, because recommendations, I think, is very key for Commonwealth. That if they write anything that is not good.
In fact, other than, and it's something you have to learn now. So especially if you want to continue graduate school, recommendation is very key. It's very key, even for PhD.
Yes.
Recommendation is very key. Yes. So like for me, for my PhD, no Nigerian person writes recommendation for me.
I did exactly the same thing.
Yes, no Nigerian. Danny,
exactly.
GM, that's the program lead. the current MSc clinical oncology
Yeah,
program lead
Jamako,
there.
Jamako. He's
Yeah,
my
Jamako.
personal tutor.
He was the one writing. Yeah, because I worked in his lab. So he writes personal, he was writing for me. Then my supervisor, man, Dr. Hartley at Queen Elizabeth Hospital there, he was, in fact, Dr. Hartley is very phenomenal. Though I didn't like how he was supervising me because I personally did my project myself. But when it comes to recommendation, it's somebody that I will just chat him up once because he agreed that I should send his name. So anytime I submit this, I will just send him a chat. And in 2 or 3 days, he's a consultant and he's very busy. He will send in then Graham and all that. Then there's one other lady again that was Tracy Perry. She was there. She left. I know she's back to Birmingham again. I don't know if she's working with. She's back to the program. But so those persons, I've been able to keep. That's the thing. I've been able to keep good relationship with them. And even when I reached out to GM was really excited. He said he wanted to use my story as advert for the MSc Clinical Oncology.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They did.
They use, I don't understand. They use Mushman's story.
They did. When they were telling us about application for PhDs, how you can apply. Because I know your story, I could relate that.
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Thank you for that. So let's go to another question. There's this particular question on details of employment history and explain how the experience is relevant to the program to be undertaken. What of if my work experience doesn't relate to the program? I think there's always a way for you to pick something from what you've done, even if it's just communication skills.
Yeah.
Even if it's just collaboration skills that you've learned from those work. You can just look for a way to extract those key things from what you've done. Does it have to be real? Or what do you think about that? I think that's it.
So I think that when people look at job experiences, they look at the role, not your responsibilities. Like you should tie your responsibilities to what you think would be important in the in the scholarship. If a scholarship is talking about diversity and inclusion very much, and you had a role that specify your ability to work with a diverse group. Like, I mean, in my scholarship application, in my CV, it's not that I was a class rep. But then in my scholarship application, I said I worked with a diverse group of students for 5 years as a class representative. That shows a consistent working relationship with a diversified group. And
that's not relevant to oncology. It's not relevant to cancer, but you're able to extract key things. Exactly. What you've done.
They will extract that keyword to say, oh yeah, this is the experience. And maybe you were what's it called? You were a cleaner for a workshop. But then in that workshop, they talk about medical seminars, public health seminars. You can say you clean blah blah blah, or during public health seminars, you also stay behind to probably check the path. Some way to link. It might not be straightforward. Like you might be going to point C, but then you have to circle around to come to point C. But then as far as you're able to reach that point C, you are fine. So just think around it. But then it's completely irrelevant.
Definitely. So just look inward and see what you can pick from your work experience.
Yeah.
And let's see. Please, do I have to submit my application to the school first before submitting to Commonwealth? It doesn't have to be in any order, really. But I think for me, I submitted my application to the school first, then and I moved to Commonwealth. I think that's what I did. But what matters is that you're able to meet the two deadlines. For Commonwealth and for the school, you're able to apply before the deadline. That's what matters at the end of the day.
I think, but then to be safe, try to apply to the school.
School first.
Yes.
To be safe. So you have the application ID.
Yeah, so you have your application ID. And sometimes you get offer for a course before Commonwealth even comes out. Like there were some people that they used the former list of universities and they started applying already. They already have offers. I had like 3 people that I was working with them on their application, and they already have offers already. So if they are applying to Commonwealth now, they are applying to Commonwealth that they have an ID and they have an offer in the university. and they can be saying that with my offer from this university. So it shows that they are intentional, they're one step ahead already. So yeah, there's no, like, I agree, there is no fast and hard route to which one comes first. But then imagine applying to a school in Commonwealth, and you forget to submit your application. So if Commonwealth now gives you the scholarship, the school will say you didn't apply to them.
Exactly.
And
Please,
one
very,
thing
very
also
important.
I had an Excel sheet of all the schools I'm applying for, the courses, the password, the login and password, and the progress. So once I apply to a school, it's green. If I'm 80% done, yellow or some. If I didn't submit, it's red. So that way, if I can track the dashboard to say, oh, I have all my offers in. Now Commonwealth scholarship waiting. So just be intentional. There's no hard and fast rule. What works for me might not work for you, and it might directly work for you. You can build on what we have said here. And one thing is, you are like, there's always learning process. Like every time, like at least 4 times in a week, I'm in Yusuff's DM talking about different things. Oh, can we do this? Oh, how did you do this? Like, you should always be willing to learn, because you don't know what you would learn that would be important. There was a skill that I learned. Okay, so on the side, I had a grad school sort of interview, and I knew that they would want to speak to me about R. Like, I've not been using R. I just took a course on R a day before the interview. Honestly, I just took a course in R, and it was me mentioning that I could do this on R, I could do this on R, that gave me the offer. Like, that was it. So be intentional, be on top of your game, and the sky is starting point. Thank you.
Thank you for that insight. I mean, it is very, very important. Make sure that it will be good if you get the offer before, but what is important is that you apply for admission, and at the same time, you also apply for the CSC scholarship on their webpage. So you have to do it at the hand. So you have to make sure that you are doing 2 things at the same time. Look at the university and look at CSC website, and um, that's just it. Someone is asking again that my question. Okay. Oh, I'm applying for cybersecurity, but only 2 partner schools offer the course. So I can't even apply to a lot of schools. I mean, just apply to the 2 schools, but if you see another program that's related to that you still like, I mean, you can still put in for that. So unfortunately, you don't have many schools that you can apply to, but it's still fine. But you can still look broadly and look at what are the other areas that you are still interested in that you can also explore. That will also be fine. Regarding the application fee, I think someone is asking about the application fee for Nigerians. I think for most UK schools, many of them don't want to give you waiver. They will just want you to pay for the application fee. But still try to reach out to the course director or someone that can maybe on the call you see on email on the university website and send email to them. I know someone for the first time that got waiver for my program in Oxford. They don't give waiver for many people have sent email to them, but they say they don't give waiver for the MSc Global Health Science and Epidemiology at Oxford. But now they've started giving waiver. Gave waiver to someone yesterday. So I don't know what that person did differently, but that person was awarded some funding to cover the application fee. So just send email to the course director or to the university and see what they can do. If they have any pot of money that they can or waiver that they can give to you, they'll be able to tell you more.
And one thing for scholarships, something about Cambridge that you should consider. Their colleges, their accommodation. There are some colleges, some accommodations that have scholarships. So look at diversify your options, because I mean there was a point that someone on the reserve list got sponsored by I think King's College in Cambridge, because that was the college he chose. So don't put your eggs in one basket. And one course can have different funding options. Just like London School of Hygiene, they have a whole lot of funding options for their public health course. But then you will pay application fee, I think £100 or something. You pay application fee. They didn't waive it. That was the only application fee I paid. Like
Wow.
I think at that point it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, because of the pounds naira conversion.
Yeah,
Quite a lot of money to cover on just one application when you're applying to many. So, but if you
And
still
again,
look at those schools, okay, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to say this. So my Birmingham story was really funny. Do you know that? So when I was applying for Birmingham, I think Birmingham had an application fee of £50. I don't know if they still do now, but I'm just surprised. Why would Birmingham even have application fee? Anyways, but they had an application fee of £50. And to be sincere with you, I never knew that I submitted an application with Birmingham. Like I submitted the application, waiting for them to give me a link to make payments.
Wow.
But I didn't get any link and nothing. So I did not know that I actually submitted my Birmingham application. Like this is all sense of sincerity. I didn't know that. So I was like, oh, maybe I did not submit my application because they didn't send me a link to make payments because there was a £50 payment to be made. But I was like, so, but unfortunately, some months later, after a long time, they sent me admission, which is normal so they sent me admission offer. Then that's why my Birmingham nomination for me was a surprise actually, because it was the list of my application. Like it was the list of my application. Like I was like, I didn't even expect that. So when they sent me the message, I thought it was a scam.
like it's like Birmingham, they fish for applications and they bend some rules for some applications to get in. Like if Birmingham, like I think Birmingham, if they want someone and they think that you might have submitted several applications, you get response very fast. That you don't get offer. and like I tell people tell me that Birmingham has application fee, and I'll be like, I didn't pay application fee. So when the offer came from Birmingham, even my offer letter, when I downloaded it, I think I sent it to Adebisi that, is this offer letter? Because my offer letter was unconditional. Like unconditional offer, like from the start, unconditional offer. Like I don't need to do anything. Unconditional. So I was like, hey, unconditional offer from the start. Like everybody will give you unconditional first. Then you have to fulfill some things.
Yeah.
So when Birmingham came in, unconditional, and I received the call from Birmingham, like, the Commonwealth, it was until Commonwealth Scholarship came in. That was when I believed that Birmingham was actually serious about this thing. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, for the application fee can be somehow sometimes, but please, there are still some schools on that list. For Glasgow now, you don't pay application fee. You just apply for your admission, then you apply for Commonwealth. There's no application fee for Glasgow. So there are many other schools on that list that they don't have.
Preference to first class. Glasgow, they give preference to those first class. I think so. I may be wrong, but I think they give preference to first class.
Well, I didn't do my master's there, so I don't really know much, but I just heard that they don't have application fee for masters. I think Southampton too, University of Southampton, they don't have application fee. But some schools, they just want you to pay by all means.
Most UK schools don't have now. Most UK schools don't have application fee, or has it changed?
But some schools, like for Oxford, now when I applied to Oxford and Cambridge, I paid.
So Cambridge.
Just put that you are a refugee in Oxford. Just put that you are a refugee. So
all my applications to Cambridge, they are waived. They don't ask me for application fee. Like I don't know. Like I submit straight.
Once Machelen term in Cambridge, Machelen term, there's no application fee. So they have a term of intake where you pay for application fee. For Cambridge, the current, if you're applying now, you will not pay any application fee.
Exactly.
Or the admission, you will not pay. So they have time.
We were paying like a year ago, 2 years ago, Cambridge was £50 application fee. Yeah. And ASCO paid it. So and also these opportunities, you get them from your peers. I first heard about Cambridge Shared Scholarship from Adebisi Yusuff. He posted it on our class group. And I got to know about ASCO from Adebisi Yusuff. He sent it to me on IG. I can remember all these things. And at every point in time when I was doing my Cambridge Shared Scholarship, Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, I carried him along. I submitted this already, I did and everything. So sometimes it's just good to have that second pair of eye. Like there are some errors that will be in your essay that you would not see it, you never see it because you've read it so many times that your brain will just ignore it. And once someone else reads it, they are picking it out for the first time. That, oh, see, you spot, like, okay, I have a poster presentation tomorrow. I spelled my name as Olaoye. I misspelled my name, my own name. I did a poster for my group. And when I sent the poster to the group, it was one of my classmates that was like, oh, Dami, you misspelled your name. Honestly, I did not see it. And I would never have seen it.
I know someone that also made mistake of email address. That person is so qualified for that MasterCard scholarship, but he made mistake in writing his email.
Yeah, and references. I submitted a reference mail for someone, and she didn't get a mail. And it's because that person, we are very close. She took me through, shared her screen. I saw all the mails she received, and I didn't see my mail there. And I sent to her that, oh, this is what I submitted. She was like, oh, there's an hyphen in her name.
Wow.
So thank God that I could change references. I just went back to change that reference. If I can't change reference,
that's the problem.
Yeah. So just review as many times as possible. And the whole idea of, oh, you have to do your thing secretly. So like there are people that you need their eyes and their ears. And if there's one friend like I picked from UI, it's Adebisi, like we are stuck. like we are stuck. Like there are times people be asking me that, are you still friends with Adebisi? So like yes. Because it's the truth. Like there are people that are important to your journey. And not everybody should be like expendable to you. Like you need people. Like nobody is an island. You need people. Like honestly, like if I like at a point in time, I can need a reference from a friend. And they are my friends that volunteer in the same NGO with me. And because I'm probably a director or a team lead, I can write a reference for them.
Right.
And there are friends that they cannot submit an essay if I don't look at it. There are people that I can't submit an essay if I don't say Ogbeni. Like when I enter Yusuff's what's it called? I don't use his email though. I just say go to his WhatsApp. Ogbeni, Oyabukini. And that's and that's it. So when there was a day recently said hello fam, I was like me fam. So, yeah. So just keep people around, diversify your interests and pushing for the best. I have to go now. I have a test tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Dami. Thank you for that. I think we're wrapping up very soon. Just have maybe 3 more questions and we'll wrap up. Thank you very much, Dami, for making time out to do this. I think someone needs to probably comment on going back. I think people want to know that because Commonwealth said they won't sponsor their visa to stay back and all. So, from Goodnews, can you comment on that?
Okay. Okay. So very sorry. I won't be able to actually start my video now. So I'll just talk.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I'll just talk. So concerning going back, see, you're signing a contract after your master's, 1 year, 1 month after you're done with your program, pack your load and go back to wherever you're coming from. So, but there are some certain clauses. Now, the clause that if you are starting your PhD, right? If you're starting your PhD immediately, yes, legally and all that, you can. So it's just to play by the books, right? So playing by the books is that the only thing that can make you stay back in the UK is if you're starting a PhD, and of course that PhD has to be funded because of course you cannot fund a PhD on your own in the UK. So that's the clause. So anything other than that, you are not supposed to remain in the UK. What did you write in your developmental ideas? That you want to develop. So they
you want to change your country.
Yeah, you want to change your country, you want to change the world. So they've equipped you enough for you to go back. So basically, so the thing is, if you really want to stay back in the UK, then you have to try and secure a PhD, a funded PhD. I think that's the thing. We don't need to overstretch that.
Yes, I mean, That's it. Or you look for another way to stay back in the UK. Maybe you get a job or something that will make you stay back. But for the graduate route visa, I think Commonwealth Scholarship, they are not eligible for that. But if you find other ways to stay back in the UK, maybe with job or any other thing, you can. But what they said basically is you have to return back home
Yeah, the
and
thing
develop your
is,
country.
yes, the thing is, you should play by the books. Although there are some certain things that we may not want to, that we know that you can use. Of course, it's not my call to start advising you on what to do or to stay back in the UK. But in playing by the books, after your masters, you have to return back to your country.
And I think they will give the return ticket. They will book.
Yes, they will book the return ticket.
Or book your return ticket.
So, yeah, but there's always a way around that, like you said. But when you get on board, you'll be able to know more about that. So, but the thing is that you have to use the return ticket to go back home, and if you get the fully funded PhD, you can still stay back in the UK. And yeah, that's basically it. So please, you don't need to write any English language test for Commonwealth. There's no need for you to submit any IELTS or any TOEFL or anything. What is important is your essays. Apply to the schools. Apply for CSC scholarship. Apply through the CSC website for the scholarship. You don't need any English language test for Commonwealth. But for the university, there are still ways around that. You have to check the requirements from the university. But most of the time, they don't disturb you when you're applying. That you have to submit the language test, but they will put it as part of your requirement when you get the offer. So for now, don't worry about those things. But if you can write it, IELTS, you can write it. If you can apply for waiver, some schools actually they will give you waiver. But for Commonwealth application, you don't need any English language test or anything at all like that. What you need is to fill in the application, write your essays, and submit. But for the admission into the university, you have to check what they need from you. That's very, very important for you to check. Is it important to have publication before I can apply for the scholarship? No. For Commonwealth, no. Look for other areas, but if you have publication, put it there. That's also fine. Can I use my supervisor during internship as a recommender? Of course, if they can talk about your strengths, what makes you unique, of course you can use them. Yeah, I think there's no issue with that. But someone that can write about you at length, not that Rachael is a good girl or Yusuff is a good boy, not something like that. They want someone that can write at length about what you've done, your achievements, and why you are qualified for that funding.
Sorry, I need to add to that.
Okay, please do.
I got an insight now for people that have the opportunity to draft their reference. Like, don't use generic references. Don't pick references online. Your referee should be able to give examples that would personalize your reference. Like, there's one of my referees that always talk about my work with during COVID, how we started documenting pharmaceutical care performed in UCH. Like, that gives a unique perspective into like
you are what you can do.
Like, he's analytical, he's analytical. How has he used the analysis skills? How do you know that he's analytical?
Exactly.
What have you guys done together? So when if for the references that I sometimes give drafts, you can give specific examples of your work with the person. You guys worked on this paper which was published together, and he did this part of the publication.
You can use like the STAR method. STAR method can be also used.
Yeah. So
in a situation where you work together, what are the tasks? What did you do? And what is the result of your relationship with the person?
Exactly. So it has to be specifically tailored. See, if someone tells you to send a draft, they're doing you a favor. Do not go to ChatGPT, write a reference for me. And you submit it generic. It will be very generic. And apart from your essay, your reference also tells a story about you. And that's why it's in phases. They want to read about you first. When they now say that, I think this person is good. So what do people have to say about you?
Say about the person.
So imagine now, someone that has a 2-1 and someone else, a professor or his NGO, is writing 2 pages reference about him, giving links to his contributions to them, the grants they've won together, giving links, and your prof is saying that he's a good boy, he comes to class, I recommend him for this scholarship. I'm so sure, like, even when you wait, you be like, okay, because if a professor that has known you for 6 years is saying,
and not say something tangible,
yeah, he comes to class, he attends his lecture, he's not lazy, he will complete his program, and someone else that is not a professor, maybe you're the head of your organization you volunteer with, is not even registered, might not even be registered, and the person they have a letterhead, they have a social media presence, and they are writing like 2 pages to back with evidence, with links. That's different. The reference is also one thing you should look into, and you should give good efforts. Don't submit shabby reference, because you might be a good candidate, and they might think that, oh, this person is just a good storyteller. There's no evidence for it from people that is referring him. So let us just, it's probably just a good writer. And they are saying that, okay, I'm saying that I've won this, and someone else is saying it, that he has won it. He has done this. So it's like
a validation.
Exactly.
It's a good way to validate your achievement and everything you've done.
Exactly. Two-factor authentication.
Also, my way out. So immediately I heard that reference question, I had to run back that this is important, because a lot of us make that mistake, because once Commonwealth reaches out to you, you think you've gotten it. So just send references. Please be sure that the reference they are sending, and please, those that write reference for themselves, people, you applied on a system.
That's tough.
You apply on the system and you're submitting reference on that same system. Well, I may not be so much tech savvy, but there's something like IP address that they can collect to see that the same person that submitted this application is the one that is writing this reference and submitting it for himself. Please, all I have to say is be wise. And wisdom is profitable to direct.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that, Dami. Please take note. Do we have to create a new profile? Okay, are there any scholarship in the UK? The simplest way for you to know any scholarship in the UK is for you to go to the university website. Look at the university. There's always a page in all the schools in the UK. I know for sure. There's a page called fees and funding or fees and scholarship. They will list all the possible scholarship that they think their students can have access to. That's a very good way to start. Apart from Commonwealth Scholar, you'll be able to see a lot. If I start listing now, I'm going to miss quite a lot because I don't know of all schools in the UK. But the fastest way is for you to go to the university website, Google maybe University of Oxford, fees, funding, and scholarship. Just Google that. It's going to give you a page that will show you the possible scholarship that are available. So there you can click and check, do your research to know the best funding or the one that you can apply to, or the one that you're eligible for. In fact, we see all this Commonwealth scholarship there. So they're just one out of many. So, and many universities, they also have internal scholarship. Internal scholarship, maybe from their from some people or some philanthropy organization that just want to give money to people. So you will see all those things there. Check and you're able to see some other funding that you can explore. Go to Google, type it, fees and funding, University of Cambridge, fee and funding, scholarship, University of Glasgow. You will see different things that will come up, and you'll be able to read on your own to know other funding options that you can explore based on those the university and what is available to their students. Do you have to create a new profile when applying for another school? Please, you have to, not a new profile like that, right? But a separate application. There's a way you do that for you to have multiple application. I think that's right.
Yes. There's a way you do that. I think different schools they will have on the same page. You just be clicking on it. You'll be creating another one. You create another one. And I also advise to put all different schools in different documents so that you don't mix it up. Yes, put it in different and recheck again. Like we mentioned, don't mix Oxford and Glasgow together in the same school. I mean, in the same document. When they see that, is automatic rejection. So there's a way you do it differently and personalize the application to each individual school.
Thank you for that. That's very, very important. Please separate application. I don't know whether it's separate. It's still under your profile.
Yes,
But
it's still
it's still
under the
going to,
profile,
but
but
it's
it will
going to
be
be separate form.
different links. So you will see they will arrange it. You just click on it, and you click on it. Yeah, there's a way you create it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add concerning that the truth is, if you go through writing Commonwealth essays, it will make you a better writer in terms of writing personal statements. Yes, it will make you a better writer, and that's the truth. So I also think that now, just to add, even if you're unable to obtain, because the truth is not everybody will get the scholarship. Yes, they can't give everybody, right? If you're unable to obtain this Commonwealth Shared, there are other scholarships that what the exercise you have gone in writing these essays, it will make you better at applying for. You understand? So painstakingly go through the process of writing your essays, right? Go through the process and it will only refine you. Dami was saying he's very good at personal statement. I believe he has written countless number of personal statements. For example, it doesn't take me like I can write my personal statement. If I submit the personal statement to Cambridge, they're like, wow. So I can write personal statement now, and basically that is because I went through Commonwealth Shared essay writing process. You understand? So once you see a personal statement and you know what they want, you are able to actually write it. So I just wanted to add that this will also improve your writing skills when it comes to writing generally.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true, because the way they even structure it, there's nothing that you want to say about yourself that you don't have you won't have a space to fill that in. So Commonwealth will actually make you write long things. Not too much, will make you think, because you still have to look at the word count and everything and learn how to structure and talk about yourself and talk about what you really want to do. I agree with that. Commonwealth will actually show you how to do that. So far you apply, you will see how to do that on the application form. And they even give prompts of what they actually want for each of the questions. So I think it's a lot very easy, but at the same time, it's going to train you on how to write properly. Someone is asking that how, as someone who doesn't have anything other than academic grade and a final year student, how can I go about strengthening myself and CV, which will be beneficial to future scholars? I think we have a video on this channel. We have a lot of videos on that, on how you can build yourself, how you can build your capacity. It depends on what you really want to do, and you start doing things in that area. So there's a video on that, a live video on that, on what undergraduates can do to build capacity, to strengthen their capacity for future graduate school application. Please watch that video. So do we have to put in 10 publication like I saw on the website? No. But what I learned that someone did, that their dissertation, they tried to upload it on ResearchGate. So there's something called ResearchGate. You can try to open an account on ResearchGate, upload your dissertation there, and you'll be able to generate a DOI. You can see they ask for DOI. So for the publication name, just put the title of the dissertation, put the platform where it is published, which is ResearchGate, and put the DOI there. So if you don't have any publication at all, and you don't want to make it look so blank that this person doesn't have anything at all, or you don't want to show yourself that way, just go to ResearchGate, upload your dissertation. There are other platforms too like that where you can upload your publication as your dissertation as maybe prepaint or something. Just put it there, generate a DOI, and put that on your application form. But if you have publication, it's also okay. But if you don't have at all, but you have other areas where you can talk about your strength, because normally it's not expected for another graduate to have publication. Really, it's just that this time around, people have been building a lot of capacity and they now have quite a lot of publication. But if you don't have it, still go ahead with your application. Don't be discouraged. There are other areas that you can showcase your strength, maybe your volunteering experience, your passion. Yeah, you should be able to show something unique about yourself. As Toyosi and other speakers as they've said, it's just about how you're able to showcase yourself. There is not only about publication, but if you have it, it's very, very good. List them. But if you don't want to make it look blank, go to ResearchGate or other platform where you can upload your document and just generate a DOI, a digital object identifier, generate that and put the link there as well. So yeah, But if you don't have publication, that doesn't really mean that your application will be rejected without any review. How do we write good essay on the first section of the letter? I think I'm still planning a session on that to go into each of the essays like in details. But I think you can watch this video again. Toyosi has talked about that, different part of the essays. Try to watch the video again and you'll be able to see the key things that you need to actually focus on when it comes to your essay. And I think Farm Goodnews has also done that. So please watch this video again. I will upload it, so it's going to be available for you to go through again to learn one or two things. Does my two references have to come from my university? Well, I don't think it's not compulsory, but to be good for someone that's worked with you or someone that can talk about your academic experience too.
Yeah,
It will
academic
be good.
experience and professional experience.
Exactly.
Somebody that can just tell a story about you, something that makes sense. What you have, somebody that trusts you, somebody you have a relationship with, that will not just write a copy and paste kind of recommendation, a story like Dami said. Something that put together and a very nice thing about you.
Yeah, not just that she's a good boy or she's a good girl. Someone that can give example. Okay, he has good communication skills. Where has it presented before that you know?
Yes.
Or how can you justify that? Something about recommendation letter is everything
Adebayo,
needs to be clearly justified.
It's a good boy and it's a good girl.
How? They don't need all those things. Give us quality things that, of course, you can substantiate with evidence. So if someone is writing the recommendation letter for you, please send them your CV too. If that person is bent on the fact that, oh, you can't write it, you can't give them a sample, they want to write it by themselves, please give them your CV. I liked your achievement. You might have forgotten or something. Just make sure that they are not writing something that is so generic that, okay, he has good research skills. How do you know? Which example? Has it published before? What has it done before to substantiate that? So everything needs to be substantiated in a way that puts you in a good light, not that something that is really generic or something that is not passing any information across.
I want to add something.
A
lot of all these our lecturers, they send a lot of recommendation letters around this period.
Generic. Exactly.
They send a lot. So it's very important also to give them time to start writing something, because when it gets to like 1 week to the close of application, it's very likely to do copy and paste because they just want to submit something for you. And it might not be their fault. They are very busy.
Exactly.
So it's very important to give them time, build relationship, so that they will not, because they will send, because a lot of they'll just check, are you a student of this faculty? Yes, okay, I'll send it, because the recommendation letter is actually part of their duty as lecturers to write recommendation letter for students. So what we differentiate is how far you have this relationship with them, so that they just do a last minute recommendation letter for you.
Exactly. That's very important. And for now, for Commonwealth, I want to say it again, you don't need any recommendation. You don't need to submit it now. What you need is their names, their email address, and make sure it's the people that you are listing on that website. There are people that you can reach out to later. And they are also aware that you want to list their name. So in fact, Commonwealth will send email to you that, okay, we've reached out to your or I don't know how they do it again, but I think they will reach out to the recommender and they will tell you too that they've sent email to the recommender.
They will tell.
So you can follow up with them.
You can follow up.
Yeah, but now you don't need it. But for the schools that you're applying to, you still have to apply to the school. So you might need to submit a recommendation letter now.
To those schools too.
Yes. So please check what is required of the school that you're applying to, and at the same time, what you need from.
And please check that their email is working, because I know there are some schools that they use their official school emails. So sometimes it bounced back. I don't know what happens to our domain in Nigeria sometimes. So please confirm on which one is active. Don't just go online and say, okay, ask the lecturer directly that which email should I submit.
Yes.
Don't just go online and say, okay, this is the email that is on this lecturer's profile. Let me just use that. It might not be active.
Exactly. And sometimes if they don't have the official email address, I think CSC also allows that, but they have to submit a letter on a letterhead.
Yes.
So you can use their personal email address, but ask them to give you the email address that, as Toyosi said, so that you not go and look for something online and put it there. And it's not, they don't have access to it or it's not working again. But if you can get maybe their university email and they tell you that it's still active and they have access to it, it's better to use the official email. But if they don't have access to that, or maybe there's one or two issue with that, please kindly use their normal Gmail that they gave to you, but they have to submit that letter on what? On letterhead. Very, very important. Yeah. So please get it from. For me, I believe for this kind of thing, it's good that you get someone that can speak from the academic angle, and you also have someone that can speak from the professional side. So just balance things up. Don't make it just professional. Look for someone that can also talk about your academic aspect too. So you have 3 letters, and most of the time they just need 2 for Commonwealth. But I would say submit the 3 when they reach out to you next year, because after the deadline they will reach out to you and to your recommender to submit the letter. But now you don't need any letter. But for the school that you're applying to, again, check what are the requirements. If they need any letter, submit the letter for the admission too. So another thing is, if another question here is 3 recommendations that are required. Am I allowed to submit more than 3? If they ask for 3 maximum recommendation letter that you need to submit the 3. But if they say they can submit 2 and maybe 2 out of 3, that's also fine. They are not misleading you, but don't submit more than what is required. If they say they want 2, a max, submit 2. Don't submit 4, don't submit 5. You don't need that. Just follow the rule and don't
if the
go
fifth person go and write what is not up to par, and
exactly.
the 3 other people have written good things for you, that could be like a shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Please get the best recommendation from the best people. They don't have to be professors. I mean, people make all this mistake every time. That person doesn't have to be a professor. It has to be someone that can speak to you. Even that person is a lecturer in your school and they are still maybe a junior lecturer, but they can speak to your capacity. They can speak to what you've done in a way that is so sound. And that's the best. But if you are getting letter from a professor and that professor is writing, you are a good boy or you are a good girl, so that's a problem. So they have to be able to write convincingly about you and that indeed you are worthy of this funding. So it is very, very important that you also note this. So if you have any question after this live, please you can reach out to any of the speakers and you can also comment on this video. I think I will try to follow this video up. If you have any question, try to drop it under this video when when it's uploaded on YouTube, so that if you have any question, I can always write a response to that. And of course, our names, well, everyone here is also on LinkedIn, so you can feel free to reach out to the speakers, I believe. But I know they are very, very busy. They're very, very busy. So please, but for now, just type your question if you have it at the end of this video in the chat box. I'm going to try to give response from time to time. Yeah. So I think we have a lot of questions already. And if you have anything that we've talked about, quite a lot of things that you need to know about this scholarship, please just try to watch the video again, all over again, and just pick the points that you need to that you need for your application. And if you have any question, drop them in the chat box. I'm going to try to respond to them. So thank you very much to our speakers. I mean, this is almost more than 2 hours already. Wow. Going to 3 hours. Please, thank you very much for making time how to do this. I know you are very, very busy with many other responsibilities and duties. Thank you very much. Let's just go to maybe last words or something that you want to drop to the applicants just to inspire them. It's not easy. The essays, all those things, a whole lot of things. So do you have any last word for them?
Okay.
Let's start with Toyosi.
Okay, for me, application period are not the best time of somebody's life. That's the honest thing. When I was doing my application, there were times I'll be having headache, like serious headache. Your head will be hot because you are doing so many things at the same time. But when you receive that one, yes, you will forget all the pain. You will forget it. Commonwealth Scholarship is a life-changing opportunity. It's a life-changing opportunity. And I'm particularly grateful to Yusuff for organizing this. And I don't think I've told him before, but some of us applied for this scholarship because we saw that he got it and we saw that it's possible to do big things. So when you have people in front of you that have done it and they have the evidence, be like, okay, I can actually achieve this as well. So there are a lot of examples for us ahead of people that have achieved a lot of things. You only need 1 year. That is all you need. And when you get it, it is a life-changing opportunity. Your life is going to go from 0 to 100. I can assure you that. So keep up the good work. Pray. God is the giver of all good things. He's the giver of all opportunity. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you very much, Toyosi. I mean, it's not easy, but you still have to keep pushing. Thank you very much. Farm, good news. Any last word for them?
Okay. Well, the thing is, you would never know that you can get it until you put in that application.
Yeah.
That's it. As simple as that.
Yes. So that is it. You will never know.
You don't know.
Can get it. Yeah. When I applied, I got 2 scholarships. I rejected one. I went with Commonwealth, and I finished Commonwealth. I went back to pick the one I rejected again. So you would never know what you can actually get, like what you can actually do till you get it. So as she said, just put in the work. It's hard work, actually. Commonwealth application is one of the toughest applications you will ever do. Who write 13 essays, like different ways, but it will make you better. And as I said, you would never know that you can get it until you put in an application. Just put in the hard work and trust God to give you success.
Thank you very much, fam. I mean, like I said, you don't know. Don't self-reject yourself. Don't give yourself self-rejection. Try first. It's when you try that you know.
Yes.
And apply to many, diversify your portfolio, your investment portfolio. Apply to many schools, apply to many programs. Not just rely on just Commonwealth alone. And on that Commonwealth, apply to many things too. So don't self-reject. Don't self-reject yourself. You are good enough. Look at what you've done. Look at your experiences. Look at your achievements. Don't say you have little achievements. You can compete. You can tell a meaningful story, inspiring story. That, oh, this is why I really want to do this. I want to make this particular impact. In Nigeria, for instance, we don't have much researcher maybe doing enough stuff when it comes to cancer research. And that's true. You can look at that and that you want to build capacity in that area. You have been doing this, you have been doing that, you've taken this, you've participated in this a number of online courses. Just look for a way to tell your story. All these little things actually adds up. Don't self-reject, don't give yourself rejection when they've not even rejected you in the first place. Please don't self-reject. Dami, I don't know whether you are still with us. Do you have any last word for them? I think Dami is away already. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much to our panelists. I mean, you've shared quite a lot of things. I think now nobody here we just say they don't understand anything about Commonwealth. Now they can go back and watch this video again and pick from our experiences. And thank you very much for doing this. And thank you very much for your time. This is going to 2 hours already. 3 hours already. Thank you so much for doing this. They appreciate it. They're already saying thank you on the YouTube channel, and I'm sure everyone here watching us is going to actually go back and reflect on what you said and prepare a very good application. In fact, this is one of the highest viewed video. Say more than we're going to 400 people going out in and out. So thank you very much for doing this for us, and God bless you. So I think we have to end the call now. So they are all saying thank you on the channel. Thank you very much again to our speakers for doing this. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.